Hello, everyone, and welcome to I think it's the episode where this show can legally drink. 21st. Of course, now my computer decides to. Yeah, it's the 21st episode. Yeah, SWW show. Which is some great foreshadowing to a story that Mike thought it was incredibly pertinent to add to the news.
That's right. It is very important. We're teasing it out now. Don't worry. Let's just say there are 4 reasons to be excited for that story.
There are 0 reasons to be excited for that story. Because I have a feeling during that story it'll come up that only one of us has experienced what things are based on. And they should not be doing what they're doing.
Interesting. I guess we will find out. But yeah, AJ, how are you doing on this lovely, I will call it almost beginning of summer morning? I get to be in Florida, so I'm out of, we'll say, the pandemic, and you're in state of Karen, as I call it.
I mean, I will, say what you will about her kind of draconian style of we're going to shut this shit down for as long as we have to. I'd much rather deal with that than getting shut down in the middle of summer again. Like, given freedom and then having it pulled back from us.
So literally that is true. I have a hunch personally based on what we've seen so far with the science. If we see another shutdown, it will be more like the fall than the summer, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tough it out. And, I mean, the restrictions are pretty loose. Like, especially by us, you can do pretty much anything.
No one really cares where you live. That's not when they're really that concerned.
I mean, they care, but also, like, it's kind of tough to hold people in when I'm 20 minutes, if that, from one of the largest freshwater bodies of water.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 3rd largest in the U.S., and it's like the 5th largest.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, it's nice and calm down here in Florida. It is already, I think, 82 degrees this morning. It's like 9:30 as we're recording this.
Yeah, I think it's 70.
So yeah, that's what I'm calling it. Summer has begun. General housekeeping, so everyone knows, our MomoCon panel that we did digitally is live on our YouTube currently, and it will be live on MomoCon's YouTube page some point in the next week and a half. They're just processing all the videos, so it'll just take time. So if you keep an eye on that and either of those, you'll see it there. Otherwise, yeah. AJ, that's how we always start the show. Let's talk about what we have played. Do you want to start the game we've both played?
Looking over this, I would say you and I have only played one game.
That we both
can both talk about.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
And it's got an interview attached to it.
It does. It'll be at the end of this episode.
Or that means I have to edit. We played. Hold on, let me pull up Steam.
Let's get the full name here.
Knockback: The Awakening.
Yeah, so we originally played it. We played it with the developer, who we did an interview with at the end of this, who gave us free code for it. Immediately, what was your top level thoughts of that game?
It's a tower defense. Multiple towers.
It's you are the tower.
Yeah.
So the thing that sticks with me immediately, fundamentally, is that spell system. I think we talked about during the interview. Like, I really like how that was set up.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting style for sure.
I just like how much freedom you have as a player in that spell system. I think there are problems with it. We talked about the UI a lot being a problem, or some of the feedback. But I think fundamentally, I think it's a really cool concept, and I get to see the roots where I feel like in 6 months it'll be a really cool system for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in a good spot, and I think the fixes are easy.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
I think so. I'm gonna be very so that game is currently in early access. I think was it $5 right now or $10?
yeah, it's like
It was something where like if you're curious, I think it's probably worth $5 in watching that journey because like as you called it, was it the Starbucks scale?
yeah, the Starbucks index. People that have listened to my interviews know the Starbucks index.
So like it's one Starbucks index, which is and they said he said it
No,
eventually go up in
it's a
price.
1 on the Starbucks index.
It's a one on the Starbucks index. I apologize. And like he said, yes, it'll eventually go up in price, but like I think right now, I think $5 is fair for that. I'm not saying it's perfect. I think if you have like 2 or 3 friends, it could be a fun like fuck around game.
This totally needs to be a game that they offer on Steam with you can buy a 3-pack.
Yeah, totally. That's what you should convince them to do is like do one of those sales, like 3 for $10 or whatever.
Well, not even like a sale, but they've got oh shoot, some of those like 4-player games. They
Mm-hmm.
just have the bundle of 4
Mm-hmm.
and they're slightly discounted each copy and then you can gift out other codes so that people can play.
Mm-hmm.
Just do that with this. Just sell it in. Was it limited to 3 or it was only
I thought
3
it was
because
4. I thought it was 3 because of us. I thought it was 4 people.
I max
Mm-hmm.
party size was. Yeah. Sell it in a bundle with however many a party is, and then I'd imagine a lot of those games do fairly well that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know, like, when. Pull up my library. I have a couple that are like that. I think I got one of the Jackbox games that way.
Really, I don't know if I've ever seen a Jackbox game in one of those packs.
Well, it was just like somebody bought, like, all of the Jackbox games.
Mm-hmm.
They bought the collection and they didn't want one of them or they already had one of
Hmm.
them. I got. Let's see. It's down here. I thought it was down. Um,
Do, 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 do,
I think it
do,
was
do, do.
Viscera Cleanup Detail they had in a bundle,
Interesting.
and one of my friends bought the bundle,
Mm-hmm.
just gifted me. Yeah, it's definitely. And the problem is you can't like easily search that stuff on Steam.
Right, no, 100%.
Go to games, there's no like can't search by bundles.
Mm-hmm. Which would be an interesting search thing of like just doing that. Because I believe in Steam, you could set it to give people multiple copies of a game when you buy it. Like it's not like some special thing; it's just built in the menu.
Yeah, because like I mean they obviously push the publisher sales and stuff like that,
Right, right.
which I mean looking at Steam right now, there's a Team 17 publisher sale,
Mm-hmm.
which I highly recommend. Overcooked, Overcooked 2, Moving Out, Golf with Your
Always worms.
Friends.
Always worms. There's supposed to be a new Worms game. I think it's this year coming out too, which I'm excited for.
I'd recommend there's a lot of good deals.
Mm-hmm.
It's a minimum of like 75. Oh, no, I guess just Atama Chef, I heard
Mm-hmm.
was pretty good. It's 50% off. And then everything else is either 75 or 80. It looks like it's
Hmm.
classic Team 17.
And I like the ones where they're like, and you get the entire catalog for like $80. Every time you go, is it worth it? Is it?
Well, that was the notorious thing Valve offered Valve Library.
mm-hmm.
For I think it was 150.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of rough. Like 150. Granted, you got a shit ton of games,
Mm-hmm.
but it was pretty tough to argue for that. The entire bundle, but then like it went down to like $10.
And then you're like, okay, I
I'm
got
like,
to.
yeah.
Like at that point, there is no like, hey, do I need it? Do I not? Like, it's happening. It's done. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. What did you hear? What did we talk about next? I got Journey to the Savage Planet since you last talked, which was it's one of those games where you kind of walk around like the environment and you just kind of like go complete like the checkbox kind of to like get off the planet and you build things.
Yeah, I
I
heard it was okay.
That's exactly what I'm kind of saying. Like it's not bad, except so here's the prime example. Me and my roommate were playing it. Like he's on the couch, I was playing it, and it took us an hour to realize like what my first true objective was on the world, which should tell you the level of tutorial that game has in the beginning.
Yeah, that's
Like it was that level of unclear where we're like, what do we do? Like we've explored this entire 2x2 map. I don't understand what I'm missing. And then eventually we realized we were missing a piece on the ship, which was not clear about what I was looking for, how to do it.
yeah, that's never fun.
Like I think after that point, the game obviously got better from that being the low point. I just think at no point is the game amazing or anything. Like it's not bad. It's fun to kind of explore the world. I just feel once I saw the world for like 2 hours, I kind of saw the world.
Yeah.
So
Also,
like,
apparently, I got the Mafia 2 Definitive Edition for Mafia 2.
Jesus, nice. What is here that you played Polybridge 2?
Yeah, so they released sequel to Polybridge.
What is
Polybridge 2.
I don't know what that is.
It's one of those physics bridge building games.
Got it. That actually, I understand exactly what that is.
And I want to say they did a Polybridge Portal.
Maybe. Looking at the. Oh, they've only made Polybridge and Polybridge 2, the developer.
Oh, it was Bridge Constructor. That's who did.
Oh, the one,
Portal
okay.
one.
But no, that makes sense. Why don't you explain to me exactly what that is? So you literally just have to get things across the bridge, I assume?
Yep. And you've got a budget and it's different materials. And
Like, those games are fun, usually. Like, I assume it's nothing like blowing your socks off. It's just mindless fun.
I mean, it's, they're physics and in a way, it's a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's fun. I do love, though, on their Steam page, just some of the batshit insane stuff that.
I can only imagine, like, developers who, like, know every little nook and cranny or can, like, they probably have an algorithm that writes the perfect bridge or whatever. I can imagine the nonsense they pull.
I mean, I just watched a dragon they built
Mm-hmm.
come down and release a car.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the Polybridge games, it's now games, have a really cool thing in them where, like, Bridge Constructor kind of has this,
Mm-hmm.
in that when you're laying stuff out, like it's one of those games, right, where it's got the radius of how far you can go and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with Polybridge, they tend to, like, they'll show you exactly, you can't do curves because it's can't.
Mm-hmm.
But it lets you plan. Okay, we need to go this and then back down and stuff like that. And this is a little bit different to Polybridge games are different when it comes to versus Bridge Constructor. Bridge Constructor felt way more like there is a clear solution to this.
Mm-hmm.
And Polybridge, like, obviously the tutorials are like that, but once you start getting into the game, there's maybe one way that they want you to go, but then there's clearly several solutions.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Nice, okay. I'm glad it's enjoyable. So you are continuing your trend on iRacing, apparently?
Yep, so, hold on. Windows open.
I can imagine.
I have 2 monitors, and I still have the problem of there's too many windows open.
That's what you have 2 monitors for, AJ. You don't understand why. Do you need a 3rd monitor? We'll put it like. My dream was, right? You get the rectangle of monitors, so like you're in a dome of monitors.
If I was gonna get another monitor, I'd just get a TV. It
Really?
it was bigger because then I would like put it above me and
Would you
angled
just
down a
have
little
a
bit.
TV then and just divide a bunch of stuff between the TV, or would you still have your monitors?
I mean, I would still have my monitors, but then I would have the TV and just use it like a regular window,
Mm-hmm.
so I can do the snapping stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Class C oval license and a Class D road license, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not super far from getting to Class B in oval. I'm at a 3.6 safety rating and 4
Mm-hmm.
automatically level up. Yeah, I still need to do the races, the 4 races, because I don't want to spend a ton more money on the game. Series, the C class series, are at tracks that I don't own.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's see, uh, Dover.
Oh no.
Or let's see, it's the Kansas.
Kansas. What is it like to race in Kansas? Do they have tornadoes every 2 seconds?
Um, I don't have the Kansas track, so I can't tell you how it
Is there
drives.
actually like weather on them? Like not tornadoes,
Yeah,
obviously, but like is there weather on them?
yeah, they've got a day-night cycle, wind, humidity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have like a full-blown, rain system
Mm-hmm.
yet. That would be more in the road stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, uh,
You cannot.
features. Well, I can just do this. I can create a race or whatever. Sure. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to drive.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to generate weather too. Okay. So it looks like they don't have the wet weather yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's been a feature that they've been talking about for years.
Mm-hmm.
Just haven't implemented. I imagine it'll be soon trademark because I mean they've never been more popular,
Mm-hmm.
and so they don't have the excuse of, oh well, our player base is 15,000 people,
Mm-hmm.
too expensive to do this. Now your player base is 50,000.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. I played. So this is a game that we got from a developer. Signs of, oof, Sojourner. Which actually it's been getting pretty positive reviews across the board.
It's
Which looks.
Signs of the Sojourner.
Thank you. I'm glad you fixed my English, which is my first language, which no one believes, by the way.
Well, no, because you go and make yourself sound stupid like that.
So it's basically a game you go through kind of like this adventure of this person, and then your dialogue responses are based on card choices that you do, and like the cards inherently as you connect them are like empathy or aggression or discussion. Like it's kind of like those kind of decisions, but it's like a card builder. I so it's been getting positive reviews. I don't get it. Like it's not. There's nothing about the game that's objectively bad. It just gets boring. I feel like after like 10, 15 minutes of like I'm like, yeah, okay, I see it. Like I don't know if I see the story as like this very inviting thing or this very thing I really care about
Yeah.
after playing it for a bit. Like these characters I feel like they just don't introduce me enough to like relate to these characters.
Yeah. I mean, that's always the problem with the games that try to create a story out of being a deck builder.
It's really hard.
always have this problem.
Like, again, I think it looks really cool. I think it functions obviously fine. Like I said, I like the art style. It's obviously, I think, very easy to pick up. I just feel, I think that's where it falls flat to me, is the, like, objectively most important part of this, which is the, like, do I care about the characters in which I'm meeting?
And the answer is no, because you're going to find a better card and swap them out.
Right, like also, like, just the nature of how I am. I feel in a game like this, like, deck builders can have stories, but, like, fundamentally, I care about the deck builder part then, and, like,
Yeah.
that is not what this game focuses on. This game focuses on the story first, and then I'm like, I don't know if deck builder was the right way to deliver what you wanted to try to tell.
Well, there's one deck builder game that you really like that has a good story. Or some say it's a good story.
What's that?
Pokemon.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we both agree. I hate you so much. But again, then hear me out. This should have been an RPG. Like what you just said describes it perfectly. Is like, hey, I'm not defending Pokemon story. But like on a fundamental level, then yeah, this should have been maybe more akin to an RPG or more akin to other genres that maybe you could have delivered the story easier.
Yeah, I absolutely hate Pokemon, but it is a deck builder, and people do like the story.
It's not a deck builder, but okay.
It is a deck builder.
It's an RPG. Like this is a collectathon RPG.
It's a deck builder.
It's okay.
You're swapping things in and out to create the best six.
Fine,
therefore, it's a deck builder.
Abstract that to the fundamental.
Also,
level,
it's a video
yeah,
game based on a card game that is a deck builder.
I thought my understanding is I thought it went video game, anime, then card game.
Originally, but now the games are. They have the same idea of the.
Oh yeah.
In them, so.
Except card game still runs on tighter restrictions, but I'll give you that now. Okay. And then obviously the game I waited for last talk about, AJ. I have been playing the Final Fantasy VII remake.
So, judging by my Twitter feed when this game came out, if you didn't play the original Final Fantasy VII, you have no idea what's going on.
It depends. So I feel I tend to agree that there's probably a bad intro in that way. I think very quickly they introduce you to these characters, and you could at least roughly have an idea of like, oh, we're a terrorist organization, bioterrorist organization, we're environmentalists basically, trying to stop the corporations from bleeding the planet dry. Like that's the fundamental plot of it, right? And then from there, it's the characters you meet. I think what it ends is because I would argue in the video game culture, we have a certain level of like assumed knowledge of Final Fantasy just 7 just because it's like everywhere. Like it's really hard to stay in video games for a couple years and not at some point see something relating to Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
And I think they changed enough of those pieces where the familiarity you had going into this, you lose. Even though you think you would have it.
Also, if you take I'd imagine 7 is what, like a 10 to 15 hour game? Original 7?
No, it's like 100.
I thought it was like fairly easy to beat quickly.
I thought it was like 100. Let's check. FF7 on time to beat. How long to beat? The original Final Fantasy 7 is they say 38 hours is the main story, 52 is plus extras, 85 and a half is completionist.
So you're taking a 40-hour game, we'll call it.
That's fine. I'll give you that.
And this is going to be what, 3 parts? 4 parts?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 parts.
And your first part is 40 hours? I'm sorry, but that's just some overinflation. Like,
oh no, I totally, you could tell they've added more side quests and stuff. Is kind of where the overinflation comes in.
Like if you wanted to say this was a remake, then just remake Final Fantasy VII. If you want this to be this grandiose, like this is the true Final Fantasy VII, then call it some Japanese bullshit name like Final Fantasy VII EX Reborn 75, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Like, don't call it a remake if you're not remake. Call it Definitive Edition. Just remake gives off such a like there's a lot of preconceived notions of what a remake is.
That's true. I think that term is I think that's a valid critique. I think so. There are things I will give this game fundamentally is. I think I said this too. I think there are times this is the most beautiful game I've ever played, and then there are times where it's an okay looking video game. Like what they do with lighting and like cutscenes and stuff, it's fucking insane. And then there are other moments you're kind of playing and you go, "Oh, that dog looks so iffy," or that random side character looks so eh. But like as a whole, like it's a very beautiful looking game. I think they took. I'm gonna run with me on this one because you're about to roll your eyes. They took what is good in Kingdom Hearts 3's combat and actually made it better.
There's nothing good in Kingdom Hearts, so you're saying they took dog shit and made it into like
I saw that
fried beans.
Yes, that's sure, AJ. They took dog shit. We're gonna know. They took dog shit and made like Puerto Rican rice out of it. So like you upped it a bit.
Okay.
Like I think the real time combat system is really interesting. What is also really cool is you can just at will switch it to a turn based game. So like they actually made somehow a combat system for either type of JRPG player, which I think's a very cool thing. I think the way you level up the character and like the RPG part of it is really well done. It's clear. It's not this uber confusing thing, which a lot of times JRPGs tend to be.
So here's my even more problems with the Final Fantasy VII calling it a remake. If you're giving them the ability to, because the game is originally turn-based. If you're like, oh well,
I thought it was real time. It's their hybrid, but yeah.
Like, you can just run around and it's basically Kingdom Hearts. It's no longer a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they screwed the pooch by calling this a remake, and everybody was like, oh, the Final Fantasy remake, everybody was looking forward to this, and I'm like, I don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's be realistic, it's a game from the 90s that, okay, it may have had a good story, but probably doesn't stand the test of time in terms of just
looks it
how it plays. And
actually, I think it plays fine. It looks atrocious, the original.
Yeah. But, like, there's a lot of, I guess the idea behind saying how it plays is there's a lot of concessions that you have to make in a modern video game.
1,000%. That I think that is one of the fine examples of the concession. Is obviously one of the things is trying to make it playable, right? So you can't be like, we're going to remake it what it used to, because we just as players expect different things now.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that, like remaking the game but making it work.
Which I think is what they do. Like, I think fundamentally, like, I know you want to give the Kingdom Hearts combat roll your eyes and what I said, but like, I think fundamentally, like, this plays as a fun action JRPG. Like on a fundamental level, I think it's a competent, good action JRPG.
I have bigger problems with the Final Fantasy franchise and how it's basically this, like, it's a weird, like, gatekeeping masturbatory thing of, like, oh, the Final Fantasy games are so great, all this, and oh, you haven't played a Final Fantasy game? You're not a real game. Like, I don't give a damn what you play. You play video games? Go for it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that gatekeeping either. And I also think what's interesting in Final Fantasy, unless it's like a numbered sequel to a numbered game, all that generally means is they're in similar worlds. Like, it's this very weird thing in that way. And that's why it's funny if you hear people talk about Final Fantasy games. Most people don't be like, you should play all of them. Most people are like, here are the 3 you should play, or here are the 4 you should play. Like, very few people, I think, are like, you should play all 150 Final Fantasy games.
Or the person is like a true Final Fantasy, like, total, like, fair-weather fan, and they've played 7, 10, 10-2.
Which is fine. You can be that fan, and I think most people who play those games are those fans. And I think but I think that's also the more honest thing of, like, you go to the person and be like, no, you like this type of game. Here's the number I say you should play.
Yeah. I
would think
my problem with it, like I said, with it being a gatekeeping thing is it's a gatekeeping thing. Like, what would be the best way to describe it? Like, it would be like a Star Wars gatekeeping fan, but they've only seen like 5, 6, and like Solo or one of the, like, they've seen what are considered the best, and that's it. And it's like, are you really a fan though? Like, you're just somebody that was like, okay, I'm gonna watch what my friends tell me to watch, and then everybody else that hasn't seen it is below. Like, that's more of there's a cultural problem
Hmm?
in media in general that kind of creates those situations. But
And I think that is a valid critique that way. Like this is my example. Like if you wanted to do the honest thing of like who should play, if I said like had to pick you a Final Fantasy game, I almost think this is the game I would pick you because it is the most modern. I think it's the most accessible. I think it's more of what like games you would like in like closer to. It's more actiony. It's not this uber complicated thing.
you will never get me to play a Final Fantasy game.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that will be my goal from now on. We are going to get AJ to live play a Final Fantasy game for like an absurd amount of time, and I'm going to make you like it.
All right, we're gonna start a Patreon, and there's gonna be $100,000 stretch goal in
Of
which,
making you live stream. I'm gonna make you live stream like for 24 hours straight or some nonsense number.
well, I'll tell you this: if your goal is to get me to like it, that's not the way to go.
That'd be
Because
like in 2-second increments.
by about hour 3, I'll just be shitting on the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. That is all of the games I think both of us have played in the last like 2-3 weeks.
I mean, like it. I've
Of,
been
like,
playing Call
usuals.
of Duty. Like,
Me too. Warzone is Warzone. I still really like it. I still haven't gotten victory in the last like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm excited. Because I think the next season they announced they're upping the number of players to party to 5. I thought it was. So,
here's my problem with Warzone.
okay, let's run through this.
They just need to figure out like what is base Warzone.
Yes,
Is it 3? Is it 4? Is
there
it
is no
solos?
base.
Like
Right now, I think it's 4. Right now, I would argue the base is 4.
I was totally fine with a base 3.
But I think the issue is they're just not saying it out loud.
Yeah. Like, just come out. What is base Warzone?
And then so you'd focus on that. Then, like, I'm not saying don't have the other modes, but like that is your focus. Then,
Yeah. Like you can have solos, duos,
quads.
Well, I guess
if quads.
If base is quads, then you don't need quads. But
logically, I think base is quads. Yeah. I still stick with that. Based on vehicles, based upon how the balance feels, like I think base feels like quads to me.
I will say it was weird that it was a base 3 when the helicopters are 4-seaters.
No, they're 5-seaters.
Are they 5 now?
Weird. They're 5-seaters. There's a front and there's 2 sides. Yeah, no, it's really
no, that's
weird.
4.
5. No, it's 5. So there's a front and then there's a left front, left back, right back.
Oh. Because you said there's a front and sides, and I'm like, yeah, so there's the pilot, there's the co-pilot, and then the 2...
No, there's just a pilot, and then there's 4 gunners, basically. There is no co-pilot.
Yeah, that's just weird.
That's like little stuff like that. I'm like that was so weird to me. But like before they announced there was 5 people, because I'm like, why do I have a 5-person chopper here? Like, what the fuck?
I guess I should say I shouldn't question Call of Duty because they fly little birds in that game, and those are 4-person helicopters. And of course, Call of Duty would make them 5-person helicopters.
Like that, or like I still question. So there's the giant flatbed truck. Why is that a 1-seater? There is a passenger seat in that truck.
Yeah, it's a bench seat. It should be a 3-person.
Like, even if you want to say it's a 2-person, I will at least give it to you, right? Like, I'll at least give that argument. The point is that it's not a 1-seater.
Well, and why even have it in the game? Like, if there's not like accessible seats in the back. Mm-hmm. It is such a to-do to get out of that truck and get into the bed, whereas compared to like the default seat switch, that's pretty instant. And with the flatbed, you have to come to a complete stop. The person would have to catch up to the truck, get in.
I have a worse thing with the flatbed. So the flatbed. So I tried to do what I thought would be a smart idea, right? So you're in the flatbed of the truck, and you can still activate everything because you're in a flatbed. You're not in a vehicle.
Yeah.
I activated the drone thinking I just have the drone chase us. No, it fucking makes you stand up and pushes you out of the vehicle if you do that.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Okay, but like it makes no sense. Like I have issues because the game I feel like set up rules of the world and then broke its own rules.
Because, well, and like with the drone thing, think about kill streaks. Like, take the Warzone aspect out of it. Like, using a kill streak in a game, you have to be stationary. You know, there's a method to finding like a dark corner, laying down, and then pulling out the tablet to call in a
But
VTOL.
hear me out though. I wouldn't have a problem with that if they didn't set up the rule already that I could lay in this flatbed and do whatever I want when I lay in the flatbed. That's why I feel like you set up a
Can
rule.
you use the like? Well, I guess none of the kill streaks that they have
Right.
are ones that use the tablet. So
only the drone does. That's what I'm saying. This is the exception to the rule.
I mean, but it is a rule though where you have to be stationary with the tablet.
But based on the game rule that they set up and the rules, it feels they tell me that they define that as stationary.
Yes and no. I guess your physical body is stationary, but you are moving.
Then let me activate anything there. Like this is the problem. It's like they don't give like it's not like you don't unless you notice it, you will not know that you did that. So now you're in risk without knowing you're in risk.
Can you use the like in regular multiplayer? Can you call in the drone and just like run around?
No.
So there you go.
But in regular multiplayer, I can't hop in the back of a moving truck either and activate it either.
No, but it's all based on like player movement. So the kill streaks that you can call in while you're still moving are like the UAV, precision airstrike, the mortar strike.
But I could stay prone. But here's the difference. I can stay prone in multiplayer. Yes, I can't move like in the video. I can stay prone in multiplayer and it'll keep me prone. This won't keep me prone if I'm in that vehicle because I'll be standing up when I end the drone.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like they literally broke it.
I mean, they didn't. It's just like that single vehicle. That single vehicle breaks the rules, yes, but
then I think they should have defined the rules better.
Yeah.
I think that's more my problem with it.
I also think it's weird that you have a drone like that the field upgrade, considering they take so much out of that game, out of Warzone. Like, why even have the EMP drone? Like, if you're gonna do that, do like a counter UAV, where you just quick open a tablet, place it down, and then you're good. Like, why even have the EMP drone? You know, all the other field upgrades are worth it. Trophy system is worth it.
I think the drone can be. I just feel like it's very rarely worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's never worth it. I just don't think it usually is.
And that's the thing, right? Like, I guess all battle royales are like that, where there's usually one or two things in a battle royale where it's like, this is for a very specific case. And 99 times out of 100, that case isn't going to come up. So is it worth it to pick it up?
I also have fun with the drone because it's inconsistent of what windows I can and can't break with it. This is what I also think. Drone, they don't describe to me in any abstract, and I'm not saying physically tell me, but there's no abstract rule that I could tell of when I can and can't break a window with the drone. Because some windows I can, some I can't.
Yeah, that's learning buildings more than anything.
But okay, to me then, this should be either if I can shoot a window out, I could break with the drone, or shouldn't. It shouldn't be this inconsistent thing.
Is that not how it works?
No, there's certain windows I can shoot out that I can't break with the drone. That's what it is the lack of consistency. Like again, this is what we talk about. Like when the idea of when you teach people a world in a video game is, you go up to them and go, let them learn, and then this once they do a thing, they could do a thing. This is like the issue is this game. I feel like at point teaches me I could do a thing, and then no, I can't do it here. They don't explain why in some logical way. Like if you said there's a window with bars on it, so that means that makes sense why I could shoot through that window and not put a drone through it, but that doesn't exist.
Hey, Call of Duty is busted and they're not going to fix it. What else is new? And in today's news, Battlefield 5 still fucking sucks. Did you see they're adding a character from Top Gun Maverick
No.
into the game, and they're like, hey, there's no more content coming out in the game, but here's this character.
First off, that movie is what, coming out next year now also?
Yeah.
Like,
But that was probably already like a marketing thing of you need the character, it needs to be in the game at this date.
I would have been like, we need to move that contract. Like, that just doesn't make sense now from a marketing push. Also, who's playing that game still?
Basically nobody.
Like, this one, like, at this point, the issue is, like, and which is funny, because, like, in Battlefield's heyday, I think it was probably better than Call of Duty. The issue is, like, just no one cares about Battlefield right now. And I think it is, we've gone back to a more arcadey shooting style, and I use that in loose terms, obviously, like, the more Call of Duty, Apex-akin style as the mainstream, when Battlefield at one time had that fight, and I feel like at this point, like, they lost that fight for sure.
Well, Battlefield 4 is the clear peak.
Right. Battlefield 3, I think, is really cool. Obviously, people love Bad Companies.
Which, you're never getting another Bad Company.
Which is so upsetting.
If you're still stuck on a third game of a series that last released a game in, like, 2012 and none of them sold, neither of them sold very well.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I demand a sequel.
I understand why we're not getting it. I'm not arguing why we're
getting it. Then go fucking buy Bad Company 2.
Like, I literally understand why we're not getting one. It's just more of a, like, on paper, it's so upsetting because it was such a cool, like, it was, especially in the era of, like, that was the era of all these war shooters being the most serious things in the world. It was such a refreshing thing.
Your only hope of there being a Bad Company 3 is once Respawn's done with Fallen Order 2, they do that. They do Bad Company
Medal of Honor, right? Or you put the Medal of Honor team, which is making that Medal of Honor VR game right now.
Which Medal of Honor, it's so sad.
That's the thing EA killed. Because Medal of Honor invented really that genre, that war.
Yeah. It's so sad that... Well, and the problem with... It was Warfighter was the last one.
God, that was with all of the ways to breach a door.
No, the first one had that too.
Okay, but the point is, like, that was the whole thing. Like, we could breach doors in 15, 20 different ways. You're like,
well,
okay.
No, you can't, because they're all based on the number of doors that you breached. So you only get all the options by the end of the game.
But you understand, like, it was just such this, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, it was a weird thing to focus on, but, like, also, it was pretty cool to, kick the door open, throw a flashbang in there, and then open the door once the flashbang goes off.
Mm-hmm.
It was also cool to line up what was effectively a thermite from Siege charge on the door, blow the charge, and then you follow that in. Like, It was cool to have the options. Did we need all of them? No.
No.
But what that game did in multiplayer, like, first off, they shot themselves in the foot by the beta of that game for the online. You were literally the Taliban versus us. Sorry, you can't do that. Like, you're not gonna sell a game where the Taliban are killing Americans. Especially in the States. But what they did in terms of, like, they had actual... I mean, I've talked about this before. It was Siege before Siege. There were countries that had specific guns and specific loadouts. And so you could choose, like, okay, well, this map is more suited towards, like, a faster, with, like, a SMG and stuff like that. Well, there was specific countries that you chose to do that. They also had this incredible customization system where, like, you could you could pick and choose, like, oh, I want this specific base, I want this M4 base, and then I want, like, they had real brands. Call of Duty notoriously doesn't license anything in terms of the guns, so you're never going to get, like, everything is clearly identified of, like, okay, the X16 is a Glock, the M16 is the SIG, like, so you can easily identify what they are, but they just don't have the names attached to them. Warfighter had the names attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you could identify, like, oh, it's a Macmillan sniper rifle,
Mm-hmm.
which they're always the ones that you look at, like, the list of the farthest confirmed kills. That list is like 70% Macmillans.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of it made it even more realistic. And it was a great game, but nobody was playing it. And, it was dead in the water when it arrived. It was DOA, and, like, it didn't help. The cutscenes didn't look that great in the single player. Which, I mean, every game at that point was, like, that uncanny valley.
Oh, I thought that we were in that weird era. Like the 2012, I'd say like 2014 was really like the peak of that era of like everything's just a hair off. Like it's like you were almost there, you could feel it, you could feel real close, and you go, ooh.
You're like, man, they went hard on the skin softening filter.
Which, to be fair, I think we needed that time to get to where we are now. But like looking at that time, especially now, you're like, this is just painful.
Well, think about this, right? Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the current one, its style would not exist if not for Warfighter and Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
So, guess what, Call of Duty nerds? First off, you have Medal of Honor to thank for Call of Duty even existing.
Because that's literally, the team was spun off from that team, yeah. Like, they literally quit to form Infinity Ward, I think.
Yeah, so go back and play Allied Assault, I believe, was the first one.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing of, like, Vincent Pella, like, this is why, like, he has such a name in first-person shooters especially, is because he made Medal of Honor, made Call of Duty, and made Titanfall. Like, this is the reason you have these certain names that are, like, are these legends, because, like, think about that for you. Like, if I said he only made 3 games, and those are the 3 games he made.
Well, also, Medal of Honor had arguably the biggest name ever attached to a video game in Steven Spielberg.
That's true, too. I forgot about that.
So, guess what, Call of Duty fans? Not only is Medal of Honor the reason Call of Duty exists, it was also started because Steven Spielberg wanted to make a game that was basically Saving Private Ryan the game.
Yeah, because they did the infamous intro that obviously World at War also did with the Saving Private Ryan scene, basically.
Yeah,
the, like,
Allied Assault opens with basically the opening of Saving Private Ryan.
Right, and obviously World at War then copied it and did a similar thing, but like that first, I feel like video game iconic moment I can think of is that.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
Medal of Honor needs to come back. Battlefield needs to go back to reality. Yeah.
So we're going to jump now to, as we kindly call what we have seen. Why did you torture yourself, it looks like, this week, or the last couple weeks?
Well, it's been the last couple days. So HBO Max launched.
Oh, good. Are we going to go there? Okay.
A couple days ago, as we're recording this. And I had HBO Now, so that turned into HBO Max.
So there's no difference, right? Once you own one, you own the other?
Yes.
Okay.
And, like, I guess the only difference is they were a different website. Like, if you wanted to watch them on your computer, it was a different website.
Okay, that's to make sure there's nothing else. Cause it's not clear. It's very confusing.
Yeah. Well, HBO Now was also, like, underutilized.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was the HBO library just as a standalone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people I've talked to that were like, oh, you must have HBO through your cable plan. Like, no, I just have it.
Again, people just need to make this clear of like how this all works.
Yeah. HBO Max is a standalone. I think it's still going to be $15 a month. Okay. Standalone thing that has HBO stuff. It's got Time Warner stuff. It's got Studio Ghibli stuff. It's got some Crunchyroll stuff. It's the exclusive home of Friends. It's got Rick and Morty. It's got
like it has like on paper.
Yeah.
Like we'll get to another thing it's getting. Like on paper, this will be a successful thing just based on numbers of content it has.
Yeah.
That matter.
This is the one service that I could see taking on Netflix
Mm-hmm.
because
Because
it's
just like,
HBO.
it's all Warner. It's not just HBO.
Yeah.
It's Warner at
Well,
this point. Just
but
like
like
this
the
food for
name,
everything.
yeah, the name brand of HBO is
Yeah.
pretty big. And so since it's all of the Time Warner library, although not yet, it's weird. It's
Mm-hmm.
coming in stages.
I bet you it's just deals in certain places.
They've got all of the Harry Potter movies in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through and I have watched through Half-Blood Prince. So I haven't seen the final two.
Okay.
And I solely did that because I wanted to see, like, we had a thing at work where, like, we had one really big Harry Potter fan.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Oh, what's your house?" I'm like, "Fuck if I know."
That sounds what my response would be.
So I was like, "Okay, I'll take the Pottermore test." I had taken it years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently I'm a Ravenclaw. And so I was like, "Okay, I'll watch the movies to kind of see, like, I know obviously they focus on Gryffindor,
Mm-hmm.
but what is a Ravenclaw?"
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Okay, I'm in it just to see that."
Mm-hmm.
They get mentioned like twice.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This whole shtick of like people being like,
People like falling head over heels over their fucking house. If you're not
Mhm.
Gryffindor or Slytherin, you may as well not exist.
mm-hmm.
Like, the only reason people laugh at Hufflepuff is because they're clearly the stoners.
Mm-hmm.
And Ravenclaw is like, I don't know, I guess they're smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you never see, they never sort, in the first movie, they never sort anybody into Ravenclaw.
Mm-hmm.
Because they sort, I think it's like 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
They sort, obviously Hermione and Ron into Gryffindor. They sort somebody into Hufflepuff.
Mm-hmm.
They sort Malfoy into Slytherin. And then it's Harry Potter.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm invested now. I guess I'll just finish these. Also, those movies are almost 3 hours. Even the first one.
Jesus, I don't know if I realized that.
Yeah, they're long as hell. I knew the last few were long,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, okay, so the first ones will be like 2 hours. No, it's like 2:45. So you're in it. In fact, they get shorter. I think Order of the Phoenix is like 2:15 or something like that.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm in it. So I've just got I got the last two, part 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
to see the end of the Harry Potter saga.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is just, I don't care anymore. Like, I'm playing Picross while I'm watching this. Like, I'm on Twitter. I'm just barely checking in on these movies anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So let's see. So I feel like you want to start with the obvious one here. So one of my friends over, we watched Ghost Rider, the Nicolas Cage classic.
So I've only seen the sequel because it's notoriously terrible.
The first one, I'm not gonna say it's good, but it's not like it's enjoyable.
I've seen bits and pieces of the first.
Like it's enjoyable. Like I don't know if I hate it.
Also, the fact that that's a comic book
Yeah.
and they never really reference it.
No.
And it's like,
It
all right,
feels like
I
it
want to
is,
read
yeah.
this comic. Like, this is some badass. Like, isn't he like is he the devil?
No, he's like the devil. He's like
The devil's
a
son
demon.
or something like that?
He's no like a demon hunt. Like basically he gets the powers and then he gets to go like do the bidding of the devil or demons, kind of.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that.
He's more of a demon, like more demon than the devil himself.
Sure.
But yeah, it's not good. It's inherently just I thought it was interesting when we watched it. It was fun. I don't think I've ever actually seen it fully, or it's been forever. But yeah, it's Nicolas Cage at his acting chops, as you can imagine.
Which, that guy gets a bad rap. He's Like,
he can be a great actor. The issue is, it's when he cares, he's a great actor.
yeah.
Also,
I think he probably got the script for this and is like, this is going to be boring.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go for it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the line, like, okay, no, it's not atrocious by any means.
Like,
Also,
the only reason this movie is even, like, people know about it and it got a sequel is because of Cage.
Oh, 1,000%.
Like, if you just had some generic action dude in there, so it'd be just be a generic action movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need the caginess.
I agree on that logic. I also watched 2 Aaron Sorkin written classics here. I believe they're both Aaron Sorkin. Social Network and Steve Jobs.
Which apparently Social Network is Tarantino's favorite movie from the 2010s.
Social Network I really like. I like the period piece nature of it. Like, it's such just a tight window of when in the life we're following Zuckerberg and like what's happening.
God, can you imagine a sequel to that?
I think that'd be great, especially right now.
Yeah. Like, you leave off the Social Network, like the guy is on Cloud 9.
Yeah.
And what they should do is if they were to ever make a sequel to the Social Network, you start that movie with the hearings.
1,000%. That'd be great. And you just do like the couple weeks after or whatever.
Like, you just do, you do the creation of Facebook, and he's on Cloud 9, and he's making all this money. And that's where Social Network leaves off. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Social Network 2. No, don't do titles. Like, don't do the studio stuff. Just up from black, immediately, back of Zuckerberg, you see the Senate.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The committee. Like, that shot.
That'd be beautiful. And you have the
opens.
thing of, like, you could tell, like, you kind of roughly know which senators it is, kind of. You find the actors that look just like them, and you do the whole thing, and you just go through, like, the opening 10 minutes should just be the actual questions that were asked on, like, Zuckerberg when he was sweating. Like, it should just be, like, they should just take what really happened and just have him do it. That's the opening of that film.
And do that shot. We're blocking I am blocking the opening of Social Network 2 out right now.
Right. I get pictured. I get pictured perfectly.
Up from black. We're probably, I'd say, 15 feet behind Zuckerberg.
Mm-hmm.
Enough so that Zuckerberg is dead center in the frame, but a little
like just
down. Yeah, you're from behind.
Right. So and I can see like the committee chair. So I think it'd be the Republican committee chair and the Democratic, who's like the Democrat charged committee. You just see them perfectly.
No, you see the whole, because the committee desk is basically a semicircle.
Yeah, it's like 13 members, I think.
Yeah, you see that whole desk,
and
then you'll see the people that would be directly in front of him. You just see them, and they're blurred. They're out of focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the opening spiel happens. Next shot is a hand cam, not steady cam, extreme close up of Zuckerberg, either shaking his knee or tapping a pencil.
Oh, 1,000, and you can see a sweat drip.
Yeah. And then next shot is an extreme close up of a Senate member's mouth asking a question, and then
I think they should just pull the actual questions is what it should be. This is actual text at this point.
Whatever.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, whatever the questions were. I forget what the questions were.
And then as Zuckerberg responds is when you cut to the opening. You just cut to the opening title card.
No, that question happens immediate because he took a second to think of his response. From what I remember in some of the questions.
He reminds me very much of Bill Gates in the 90s during those hearings. That's what Zuckerberg very much was like.
Yeah. So you get the shot, the extreme close-up of the mouth asking whatever the question. One of the questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, all of these are hard cuts. There's no fades. There's no nothing. Very little. It's just the ambient noise.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts immediately to, basically if you put the camera on the committee's desk, facing directly at Zuckerberg.
Mm.
His face is dead center frame, and he gulps to take a second.
I hear the gulp. Yes,
hard cut. Social Network to whatever you would call it.
Yeah, that is 100. That is the cold open in that.
Black screen, just simple No fancy fonts, just
Yeah.
like a
And,
bold text, just
and you
Social
want
Network 2.
you want the color, like the Social Network, how it had that very specific coloring of the film with the lights, kind of everything had like a shadow. Like you want this very this same look.
Well, no, I would go for as close as you could get to what that hearing was like, because it was pretty bright. Like,
Yeah, it's a Senate hearing. Like
yeah,
they don't cheap on those light bulbs in the Senate floor.
yeah. So just do that. There's your open for Social Network 2.
That would be beautiful. Can we make it?
And like nothing is like the only part that would be kind of steady is that immediate open showing Zuckerberg's back. Everything else is handheld, so there's movements, there's jitters, there's no steady shot other than that immediate open. And then we're not doing, I'm sorry, production companies, we're not doing your title sequences up front.
Nope. This is like how any Aaron Sorkin film does. Like it's the back. You just have it in the back. I apologize.
No, you get the Social Network 2, and then
can we do like presented by Snickers?
Well, like you would do the 3 production companies, right? So like,
but that's like in the opening, yeah.
It's like Social Network 2, and then immediately ... production companies, and then it comes back up.
I was thinking it's more like as you do the intro of the cold intro, you kind of do production companies like in this on the bottom third. That might be a little cleaner to me.
Well, no, like if you're doing like that opening that I just talked about, you don't want anything else on screen. Unless
is there a way to make them like diagenic, where like you see the production companies like people holding a newspaper or something?
Well, the only way you could do it is if in between each shot you went to black
and did that
and did the name.
I could see that. That to me actually wouldn't be atrocious.
Yeah, oh shit, what movie am I thinking of?
Yeah.
I think Hurt Locker did not necessarily the same thing. But like very much that you want to build the chaos of that situation. By the way, people, this is going to be a long episode.
Hour in.
Yeah, we're already an hour in. You want to build the chaos of what those hearings were like, because those hearings are not. Yeah, those hearings are not the.
Because that was like Dianne Feinstein screaming, Lindsey Graham screaming. Like you had these very loud people, and like there's some people in the Senate that are very like beyond life personalities, and I thought that committee had those people on it.
Yeah, it's not the utopia that Facebook would want you to believe that it is. This guy is getting grilled by people that have talked about weapons, talked about steroids in sports, like talked about just take your pick of stuff that the Senate Judiciary Committee has talked about.
Is it Judiciary?
I thought it was. Or was it
it was both. It was a joint session of Commerce and Judiciary committees.
Okay. Like those committees have talked about secret weapons deals with terrorist organizations. They've talked about steroids causing wrestlers to die prematurely.
But this was like one of the louder ones.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like those organizations, those committees have talked about just they've run the gambit. So these are not just like first years.
Oh yeah, no, these are also like some various senators who've been there forever too. These weren't like a lot of these were not new senators.
Yeah, these are people that have put in the time, and they're not going to deal with any bullshit. You're going to answer them. So just creating that chaos is perfect open for Social Network 2.
That'd be beautiful. Let's see. So, AJ, NASCAR is back?
Yep. So they are 4 races in as of this recording.
And I assume it's still no people in the stands, none of that?
Yeah, still no fans.
What states is it every state's allowing NASCAR or just certain ones?
So they've raced in South Carolina and North Carolina.
Interesting, okay. Because, like, obviously I'd assume at this point Florida would let them, obviously.
Yeah, so the plan, like, their next race is at Bristol, which is in Tennessee.
Okay, I can see that
And
one too.
then they are going to go down to Homestead, which is in Miami.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The thing that raises a question about is now they need hotels.
Florida. Oh, Miami just. I think Miami's opening hotels on the first.
Well, but that's not like it's not the problem of are they open or not.
It's the
It's the how do we handle
do the
yeah, because you're
the
gonna have
influx
yeah it's
press.
well no so there's barely any press
Okay.
like the Darlington race second one they had 3 press members and I think Fox had 1 pit reporter and then a camera guy and that was it.
That is nothing.
They obviously had the camera operators but that's easy to social distance.
Yeah, no, that's not. You also could have like cameras with remote controls too.
Yeah, so they have robocams, they have that, but a lot of your high cams that show a lot
Mm-hmm.
of the track are still manned cams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it was interesting to see, but yeah, so having hotels now is like okay, there's 43 teams, there's 7 people
Mm-hmm.
that are allowed in the garage for the team. So now we need to house what was that 280 like 300 people at least.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get them, and most hotels should be able to handle that.
Yeah, or you divide it between 2 or 3. Yeah, like I think realistically you could do it.
But like, you would basically have to rent out like the wall. I'm not gonna say the Waldorf because that'd be way too much. But you would need to rent out a hotel that is a high rise,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have like maybe 2 teams on a level
Mm-hmm.
because you're only going to be able to run single occupancy, and you could do every room, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still going to be like, you know, like I said, there's maybe 2 teams on a level. Can't fit
Mm-hmm.
any more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to need something that's at least 20 stories tall.
Nice.
And then you're going to need a hotel for press and all that. So
Yeah. Otherwise, the other thing is I've watched the first 1.5 seasons so far of Better Call Saul.
I think I watched the first episode and that was it.
It gets a lot better. Actually, at no point I think of the show. I don't think the show's actually been bad at any point yet. It definitely gets better. You could tell, like as season 2 rolls in, like it's getting better and better. Which is funny because I think people have talked about this. Like there are points they argue the show might be better than Breaking Bad, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. That I've definitely not seen that yet, and I'll be very curious, like what that looks like when it does become what people define as better.
Yeah. I can distinctly remember the open for that show. That's that black
like
and
the
white,
open.
and he's working at Cinnabon.
It's such a cool, like that open is so because you could tell it's post everything, so like it's such a cool like oh this is where he ends up, and I like so the first season I really like because every cold open is like the continuation of that day, so I think it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think I
Was
only
that
saw the first episode.
season 3 or 4 of Breaking Bad where the opening was the plane crashing every single episode?
Shit, that would have
Because it
been
reminds me of that so much. Like with that the entire season, you're on edge. You're like, what is this?
4.
What is happening?
Because I think the final episode of season 3 is the air traffic controller going to
So
the
then
bar,
it's 3 then. Right, that makes sense, and that's when
and then
his
season
dog
4 is the open.
is when she
is the
is when
plane
she
crash.
kills herself. Oh, now she kills. That's when Walter White basically lets her die.
Yeah, in season 4, but
Yeah,
the
so that makes 3
opens
the
for
crash then.
4 are the plane crash.
Because I think that's such a I still think that's such a cool way of how they told like that story, and I think season 1 the cold opening they kind of it's not obviously as intense, but I think it's really cool because it reminds me of that feeling you had that entire season watching that cold open and wondering what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it. Saul Goodman obviously is turning him into Saul Goodman when he isn't is fascinating, and then you get to see the evolution of Mike, which is another one that I think Mike's story is very not what I expected.
I will say, like from the clips that I've seen of Better Call Saul with Mike, his discussion of what the difference between a criminal and something else. Like he has a discussion with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's like, "I'm not a criminal," and
Yeah.
he's like, "No, a criminal is this." Like there were, it was the difference between a criminal and something else.
Well, there's another moment where, as Saul Goodman turns into it, and he says something like, "I'm not." He's like, "I'm a good guy," and the guy goes, "You're not. You just don't realize it yet." Like, it's just this so beautiful thing of like, no, you'll see.
I do remember him coming up with the Saul Goodman.
I have not gotten at this point in the show.
That was
he's not Saul Goodman.
Well, no, but he created the name in the first episode because I can distinctly remember.
Yes, that's one of his fake. That's his fake name for like when they're pulling a heist or whatever in Chicago.
Saul Good, man.
Yeah. But like he's not used it professionally. Let me phrase the statement.
He hasn't changed his name yet.
Yeah, no, he's still whatever the fuck his name is. But yeah,
Jimmy or something.
It's the most generic white person name you ever met. Not threatening, like. Yeah. Okay. Other random stuff before we get into news. I finally have a desktop again, is what I think we talked about off air.
Yep.
So I'm no longer working off my laptop that has a cracked in screen on the top left corner, which is it's nice having a desktop again because now I have like 2 monitors, actual USB ports. Games don't fry on me when I try to run them.
What, did your laptop have fake USB ports?
It only had 2. So, like, I don't know if you realize, like, right now I'm using 6 USB ports, I believe.
For what?
I have the soundboard. I have a mouse. I have a keyboard. I have a numpad. I think I have 2 Xbox controllers plugged in my computer right now.
Why do you have a numpad separate from...
I have a keyboard that didn't have a numpad, so I bought a separate numpad.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay, and then I also have a webcam. Yeah, so I have like 6 or 7 used right now. I've been working on a game that I've been using on controllers, so I just keep them plugged in because it's easier.
So realistically, you only have...
I have 5 that are basically necessary, so right now we don't need the webcam, but the webcam, soundboard, keyboard, numpad, mouse. That'd be 5.
Okay, so you have... But take the 2 controllers out, and then that's your normal setup.
Yeah, my normal setup's 5.
So... Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could have 9, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so here's where it gets weird. My keyboard has a USB slot in it. Mm-hmm. It is a 2-prong USB plug. So... Does that constitute the USB port in my keyboard? Is that a unique?
I would say not, because they kind of neutral out. Okay. Yeah.
Because I've got my racing wheel plugged in.
Okay, AJ. Tell us about what is going on in the world of Formula One racing.
Open wheel racing comes back, baby. IndyCar is back June 6th. Texas Motor Speedway. F1 will be back a month later with a doubleheader. July 5th and 12th. They will be in Austria. At the Österreichring. Actually, it's called the Red Bull Ring now. But they will only be able to have 500 people in attendance. To put that into perspective, when I went to Canada, I went to the Montreal race. Mm-hmm. They said on race day, which would be the busiest day, there were 115,000 people that went through the gates.
Jesus. Okay. So yeah, that is no one then.
Yep. Granted, the Red Bull Ring is the second shortest track, and it has the fewest turns.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of fans that you could have, 500 is going to look weird, but it's not like it's 500 in Montreal where you regularly draw over 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh. Nice. So yeah, F1 soon to be with us in the world.
IndyCar will be sooner, but
it's true. AJ, we are finally to the news segment of the show.
Yep.
It's only been some time. So
It's only been an hour and 15 minutes. Finally
it's
talking about.
it's gonna be one of those days. First news story I have, just general thing. Theme parks are finally reopening in this country. The reason I think this is important is, so in Florida it's kind of like obviously the bulk of your theme parks, right? You have Busch Gardens, Universal, SeaWorld, Disney, all that fun stuff. Every theme park basically in Florida is going to be open by mid-June, besides the one fucking mouse who decides to open in the middle of July.
I thought Disney was opening up, but like very slim.
No, downtown Disney, whatever they call it, Disney Springs is open. The Disney Springs basically opened when the boardwalk opened at Universal. The rest of Disney is not open until I think July 17th or 15th.
Didn't they have one of the hotels open up?
I think that's the one connected to Disney Springs. Like, specifically, only park is open at Disney Springs, which is their free, like, boardwalkish park area. It's not. Like, it is part of the park, but,
Disney?
like, it's Disney Springs, I think, now, but yeah.
Okay. Quick chat about Disney.
Yeah.
Why in the Sam fuck did you rename it from Downtown Disney?
I don't... And it used to be something else before that. Like, they just rename that fucker every couple of years.
Yeah, it was called, like... It was like Downtown something.
It was something before.
It wasn't Downtown Disney. It was
it was something else. Yeah,
Downtown something.
But no, I agree with you. I don't understand either. It's Disney Springs now, is all I know. I agree with you. I think Downtown Disney probably was the best name they've had that thing. Because like Universal Boardwalk, that makes sense what they call it. Like everyone understands that.
Yeah, you just call it the boardwalk.
Disney Springs. You're like, is this a resort? Is this part of the park? Like you can't tell from the name.
Well, yeah. When I first saw the story of like Disney Springs reopens, I was like, oh, is that what they renamed the? Because they've got the one resort that's like, it's supposed to be New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, is that what they renamed? Whatever they called that one.
But
to Disney Springs, but no, it's also I thought, is that the water park?
No.
Yeah, Downtown Disney is now Disney Springs. And in other news, Disney is just a colossal fuck up with their naming structure.
Oh, I'm not denying that one. It's yeah. So I'm not going to Disney in 4th of July anymore.
My brother wants to go to DC for 4th of July.
I am going.
You're going to DC?
Yeah, we do a road trip where I am picking up a friend in Miami, I think on June 28th. Then we're picking up another friend like 3 days later in Atlanta, then we go up to DC.
Are you driving from Pensacola down to Miami?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
We're doing a road trip. So what we're doing is we're going there, we're picking her up. We're then in Orlando now for like 3-4 days. Then we pick up our friend in Atlanta, and then we head up that way. So we're going like Atlanta, South Carolina, Virginia.
Yeah. But I'm like, dude, it's going to be like 102 with 95% humidity. It is going to be miserable in DC.
I'm at least used to that right now.
Yeah.
So like to me, it's probably going to be about the same.
It'll be hotter.
It will be hotter. I don't know if it'll be that much worse though, because it's not exactly cold around here. It'll probably be more humid, if anything.
Yeah.
So what's really funny is one of my friends has never been in the South during the summer before.
Yeah, that's gonna suck.
They're gonna land in Atlanta. It's gonna be like they're gonna hit over like a fucking brick wall. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. Next news story we have, and this is gonna be an update from the one I have on the news story, by the way. So it's official on Thursday. So the day before you heard this, you guys all know what happened. They're showing off the PS5 the first time with games and stuff officially on Thursday.
I'm sorry, you mispronounced that. It's showing it off with games.
And for the record, they're very clear saying this is the first of many presentations. So I have a hunch we're not getting pricing. We're probably barely seeing the box. We're probably getting like 4 games.
Yeah. Also, whatever happened to games?
Games.
Did somebody buy them?
I don't know.
I feel like I heard something about like Elgato is going to buy games.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep making the cases, but I guess I haven't heard an update, so somebody tweets us and tells us, if you work at games, let us know. Let us know what's going on.
So AJ, so what do you think? So I'm thinking legitimately on Thursday we're probably gonna see like 3 first-party games, then you'll see like a smattering, like we'll say half a dozen in some capacity of like third-party games. Is what I'm assuming we're seeing.
We're seeing a silhouette of the box and a
I
release
don't think we're
date.
seeing a price. I don't think we're seeing a price or release date.
We're
I think
seeing a
we're seeing
release
like
date.
I think we're seeing like middle of November. I think we might be up for pre-order that
Maybe
point with
maybe a release
tag.
window.
I think a window is more likely. I bet you they hold the date for another couple weeks, especially the way they made this comment of like there's more to show. Like, why are they making this comment ahead of time besides to set your expectations?
But I mean, if E3 had happened,
Mm-hmm.
they would be showing. They show everything. They show
Yeah,
the box. They show the date. They show the price because they have to because they open up pre-orders.
But it's really weird because like last time we already had all of this information, including what it looked like in February, and that didn't happen this year.
Yeah.
So like they're already behind the schedule of what they did last time, and obviously the pandemic shifted everything, but it's still really interesting.
Yeah, I have a feeling though that they never planned anything in February.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they were just like, "Oh, we're just gonna let this," because they have this deal with Wired, right? So they were probably gonna have some Wired article go up about the tech in the new controller,
Mm-hmm.
and then this would be when they show everything off.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect at the very least we see a silhouette of the box, a release window. The thing of it is, you can't have pre-orders go up without a price.
Mm-hmm.
So if pre-orders go live, there's going to be a price.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, we see games and we see.
I'm just curious which first parties. Like to me, I like personally, I bet you it's gonna be something like I wouldn't be shocked if like Insomniac show a thing. You'll probably see God, who did Killzone? I'm drawing a blank. Gorilla do a thing. Like I bet you those are those you're seeing.
Here's the thing to think about: you're not going to see Last of Us 2.
No, because it's not a PS5 game at that point. We're not showing it.
Well,
they just
you're
did
not
a giant
gonna,
presentation.
You're not going to show Last of Us 2 on PS5 because
do you think they do a teaser for that Last of Us multiplayer they've been doing?
Well, think about this though. This conference is a week before Last of Us 2 launches.
Right, but that'd be interesting to close it, do a Naughty Dog tease, and just because they talk about they're doing a multiplayer game next based on Last of Us, just show a tease for that for 30 seconds.
Maybe.
That'd be a cool way to like they always like that. They usually close the show with like Naughty Dog or Insom or like there's a certain tier of studios they close the show with.
Yeah, they close with whoever the next big game.
And that to me, like that's a good. Again, I'm not saying you show gameplay. You do a 30-second teaser, give us the actual name of that fucker, and just give us a look at it.
Yeah.
Or
so people don't expect to see. I mean, they might show Last of Us as like a sizzle reel thing. You're not seeing this game with.
Personally,
gameplay.
You know what I would do if I was them and you had like, and this is like the world we live in, right? You close, you do the cut to black, the close, right? Tease Spider-Man 2 with Miles Morales. That's what you do. 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a great closure because we're like that's what we're all assuming it is, and basically we know that's happening. There's no way that's not happening since it's the best-selling exclusive. Like literally, if you do that, that's a great teaser. You own Insom now. Like that's a great way to like be like we're putting them to use.
Yeah. Yeah. This show will be what's the launch lineup.
I agree. I still think there's a window to tease 1 or 2 games that are beyond that. But I think you don't. You want only like 1 or 2. If you tease 8 games, you only want 1 or 2 that aren't in that pure window. You don't want like 7 of them not to be in that window.
I also don't imagine this is going to be a very long thing.
They said it's a little over an hour. I think it was like 65 minutes.
Yeah.
So you can still show a decent amount of stuff, 65 minutes. Especially if it's known IPs.
Yeah. But when you start thinking about, okay, each trailer is going to be 3 minutes.
And then maybe you have like a big game that like, see, because the rumor is that Resistance is in development. Maybe you'd show that for like 8 minutes. Including like you have Ted Price on the stage talk about it for a couple minutes.
You have to talk about Ghost of Tsushima because that comes out in
You don't. That's
July.
not a PS5 game. This is all PS5 games.
No, but they just said recently that every game that launches July and later has to be playable on the PS5.
So that to me, then that's in like a teaser reel of like, here are the games that are already playable on it.
Yeah.
That's not you talk about it. There's your sizzle.
I imagine they show like some stuff because they only did that one, whatever they're calling their, you know, shows.
But like to me, I just wouldn't waste time. Like this because they did that one of those shows. And to me, I feel like I at least hope
But
they're not.
that
Wasting time
show,
on
the
it.
show that they did for Ghost was only like 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That game comes out in July.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what that game's about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, it's a samurai game with a black and white filter. Cool. But what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Is this a Red Dead style thing of you can go good or bad? Is this
No, I think they announced post. They did some IGN post and they announced there was no karma real system in it. They're telling a story.
okay? So okay, you put that in an article, but like me, there's a lot of people like me that caught the glimpse of
Mm-hmm.
that game on Twitter, and that's it. So I don't know that there was a karma system until now. So you need to talk about the game, even if it's for like 5 minutes. You talk about
Again,
Ghost.
I just don't want you to waste. I just hope they're not wasting extensive time on something like that. I want to know because we just don't know what the first parties are doing. Like we have guesses. Like we assume Ratchet and Clank. We assume Resistance. We assume Spider-Man. We assume either Killzone or something multiplayer from Guerrilla based on the rumors. Like we can make assumptions. We just don't know.
This is solely for a very small audience, but I really hope that they talk about it. MLB 21 will be the first
I was thinking that too.
multi-plat
Yeah, how
MLB
do you
game.
push that? Like, does Sony push it the same volume now?
Well, they have to talk about it.
Like they literally do, but there are times that E3 where they do it for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, no, stop it.
Like you got to get up there and be like, "Hey, we're here with Doug Bowser and Phil Spencer."
That'd be really cool. If they like, hey, it would never happen but like that'd be such a cool thing.
I mean,
Like,
it happened.
You know what you do? You do that, you'd be like, and if you stay tuned on our Twitch channel after this, you'll see a live of like the three heads of the independent developers all playing a game or whatever. Like you do some fun thing.
I mean, Jeff Keighley had the big three up on
Yeah,
stage.
but that was in a neutral ground. This inherently is not a neutral ground.
This isn't a physical thing, so like this is gonna be a video.
Right, but like I think it's not neutral. Where the Game Awards is neutral because it's all the industry. Where this is Sony pushing their hardware.
Yeah, but I mean, like what I'm saying is, you could do a video of Spencer, Bowser, and whoever runs Sony.
I forget now. I forget his. Oh, yeah, I would do Herman Holtz because he leads the first party studios.
So you do those three, and you're at like MLB headquarters in New York or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because probably all out in New York. That's not bad.
Yeah, you don't have to get the other guys on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You just do a video like this. This has to be talked about. This is the biggest deal
For sports in a while.
for games in general. This is a series that has been exclusive to a single platform for.
It's the only sport doing that.
Now, I
In modern times
guess,
it is.
yeah.
What other
I'll
sport
just say,
does that?
like, Madden does everything, but it's a single. Like, there's no other competition.
Right, but the whole point though is I could get a Madden thing on any hardware. This is the only
Well,
sport where it is tied to a piece of hardware that is the official licensed product.
No, they've got that RBI base. There's other baseball games.
That's not on an MLB game. You had to own a.
No, MLB makes that RBI baseball.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But I mean that's more arcadey. Like,
Right.
so the
Okay,
the only way to get a simulation baseball game is on a PlayStation. So this is take sports out of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the single biggest game thing to happen. Going from this is on the level of Sonic being on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is this is going to everything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. This is
you can't just let that blow by.
I'll give you that argument.
I mean, okay, it's a sports game, but like I said, this is bigger than sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is This is a license holder going to a company and saying, no, you need to do this. If you want the license, you need to do this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, AJ. We need to talk about the most important news story we have today.
Oh, the one that I did a great tease at the beginning, but that was 90 minutes ago.
It is time! Four Loco has officially entered the hard seltzer game.
They've been in the hard seltzer game for a while. They announced that they had a seltzer like right when White Claw was coming out.
That's true, okay, but they're finally here. They're here. They a couple weeks ago, but it is here. It is the Four Loco hard seltzer.
Have you ever had a Four
12%.
Loco?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so we've both had one.
Have I never heard your story? So we were in the Ozarks one year, and a bunch of us got Four Locos and just chilled in hot tubs for 12 hours while drinking Four Locos. Can you imagine how hungover we were the next day?
The worst hangover I've ever had was after a single Four Loco.
So imagine what I just said.
Like, what did I go, like 4 beers deep when we were in Columbus?
Which is not, like, relatively, it's fine.
It wasn't bad, because they were all Mexican beers,
Yeah.
but I felt fine. I had a single Four Loco, and I was done for like a day and a half.
So imagine what I just said. Chilling in a hot tub, which means you're sweating and you're losing any water that's left in your body.
Yeah. It also I guess it didn't help that I had a Four Loco, and then I had to be up at 6 in the morning.
Oh, that is not a good combo.
To go fishing.
Oof.
And, well, we were on the river, so it wasn't that bad, but it was definitely oh, dude, I should not have done that.
I appreciate, though, so this hard seltzer, what's the most hard seltzer, like 5-6%?
They are like between 4.5 and 5.
Okay, so this is 12%.
Which is down from a normal Four Loco.
Mm-hmm. But the point is,
isn't a normal Four Loco like 15% or something?
Yeah, but like this is a hard seltzer is the whole point.
Yeah.
So like a hard seltzer at 12, and it's still the cans. It's still the Four Loco cans. I hope you realize that we are going to be drinking them at some point.
So here's my question, right?
Okay.
Is this Four Loco dipping their toes back into original Four Loco?
Jesus Christ, I hope to God it is.
Because, so for those that don't know the history of Four Loco, it was originally a 24-ounce can, and it was a malt liquor with energy in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was either caffeine or it was beef, whatever. So it was an energy drink that was it got you like fucked up.
And it was before like energy drinks were really a giant thing.
Yeah.
So like this was before you wouldn't do like Red Bull and vodka like at a nightclub. This was like Four Loco would be that.
Yeah. Only it was 24 ounces of it, and it didn't taste like a Red Bull and vodka because that you can taste the vodka in it. Four Locos were like fruit punch and like watermelon
what's so bad about Four Locos is like the first sip you go ugh, then it gets a little bit better and then somehow it gets worse again. You don't explain it. It just gets like you normally get more drunk and the alcohol tastes better. No, a Four Loco starts getting worse.
So they had to ban Four Locos. I think the problem with the reason Four Locos got banned was A, they were ahead of their time, and B, like, stores didn't realize that they were alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, they looked like a Monster or Red Bull can, like a tall Monster or a tall Red Bull. And, you know, they had, like, one thing that said 15% ABV.
Mm-hmm.
And you could easily rotate the can, and most of the time, those tags that said the alcohol content were on the front, the barcode's on the back. So you rotate the can, hold that towards the kid, and then the guy scanning out, which is probably some high school kid that doesn't want to be there anyway.
Of course.
Scans it, it doesn't flag it,
mm-hmm.
and they go out. So Four Loko fell on the sword of irresponsible convenience stores,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're back. I mean, they've always existed, but
But now they're back, baby.
yeah, I wholly believe these seltzers are like, take Four Loko out of it.
Mm-hmm.
These hard seltzers are companies pushing how close can we get to bringing back Four Loko,
Mm-hmm.
because that was a
1000%.
huge market.
It was giant.
Yeah, and it was only for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was 2 or 3 years that Four Loko as an original existed,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the most popular drink in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we need to talk about the Embracer Group, apparently. Which apparently THQ Nordic changed the name, and I never paid attention to the Embracer Group. They have
I believe they changed their name when
they bought them.
no, like an investment group came in and
Okay,
helped fund them.
they have 118 games in development.
Well, when you consider they've got 31 studios.
That's still so like 31 studios, and they probably have a couple external teams working. Like realistically, it's not 4 games a studio. It's the studio has 3 games. This is 2. I have 10 games over here that aren't part of my first party team.
Yeah, so
Still,
seems like a lot.
That still has to be of any publisher. That has to be the biggest volume of games.
I mean, I also believe it's the short of Ubisoft, it is the largest studio
Not
base.
in studio base, okay, not in volume of sales or anything. In studio base, it might be.
Yeah.
In volume of sales, it's not even close. But like,
because I mean, like,
number is absurd.
Well,
69 have not been announced yet.
So they might
They've
even be
announced 50-something games.
Yeah, they might be even bigger than Ubisoft in terms of studios, if all 31 are making games and not support studios.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of Ubi's studios are support studios.
Support studios, yeah.
So, because you're never going to see a game come out of Ubi Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
They're a support studio for Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs or whatever.
Because it's just cheaper, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, if all 31 studios are making games,
mm-hmm.
Embracer is the biggest company.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to mention that because it just is absurd.
The funny thing is, if they're still based in Europe, they're the third highest value company in Europe in terms of games.
Yeah.
Because CD Projekt is the new number 1,
mm-hmm.
and then it's Ubi, and I'd imagine it's this Embracer Group.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Take-Two's got to be up there too, because I think they might be legally based in
Rockstar is at least Rockstar is legally in Europe, I thought, because Rockstar is a London group originally.
Yeah,
like it is New York offices and the San Diego offices, but I thought legally it is a based in Britain group still.
Well, but Take-Two might be an Irish company.
I thought Take-Two was legally San Diego.
Maybe.
Take-Two Interactive is, can I have a drum roll? New York. It's legal as York. Yeah, that is true, because Take-Two is one of the few, like, Take-Two has a couple offices in New York and Activision does, and, like, those are some of the, there are very few studios actually in New York, which is shocking how big of a city it is.
Well, it's just too expensive.
Which is funny, but, like, we okay with San Francisco here? Like...
Well, San Francisco was nothing when it started. New York was an expensive city from the get-go.
Right, so we've just kind of accepted at this point more than...
I mean, the whole reason San Francisco became the hub is because LA was expensive, Seattle was expensive, New York was expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to a cheap big city like San Francisco.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now for the final news story, AJ. I've saved the best story for last here. We're excited to announce to the people who live under a box. We finally get the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, except, as we talked about earlier, it will be an HBO Max exclusive, as it as a 6-chapter TV show, and I believe the runtime
Not necessarily. It could be just a straight 4 hours.
Okay, you're right. It is 4 fucking hours long. What was
At
the original
least.
Justice League like? It's 2. The original Justice League is like 2.5 hours.
It's closer to 3.
Okay, the point is though, and they're spending $20 million to recut it.
Well, you sound shocked, but I was the one that was shocked before the show. And you're like, oh, well, they're putting Darkseid in it, and they've got to do VO. And
I'm more shocked they let it happen.
It doesn't take $20 million to do that.
Okay. So, like, obviously the internet joke for a couple years has been we want to see Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Like, what? Was it just enough Twitter people yelled and it happened? Like, how do we think this happened?
That's literally what like, if you read the article, let me see if I can pull up the exact quote. Let's see. The morning after the second anniversary of Justice League, their agent saying that Toby Emmerich, chairman of Warner, acknowledged the movement and was willing to accede.
Mm-hmm.
This is real. People out there want it. Would you guys ever consider doing something with it?
Like, it's just... Like, I understand we've had it, obviously, the cast has tweeted about it and all that stuff, like...
So, you want to know the craziest thing about this?
Oh,
it's not that
me.
this is happening.
Okay.
The answer to if this would ever exist was revealed when Snyder was watching Man of Steel online and said, oh yeah, there's a Snyder cut of Justice League that's coming to HBO. I remember that. Like, what?
So look, I woke up from a nap when I saw this, and I thought I was dreaming for the record when I saw this. Where I literally was like, I must still be dreaming. This is not real.
Okay, I guess he says it'll be an entirely new thing. Apparently Snyder's never seen the theatrical release.
That makes it so much better to me.
He said, you probably saw a quarter of what I did, basing his judgment on what has been shared with him of weeks. I forgot that Snyder had to pull out of this due to...
His daughter died, right?
His daughter committed suicide.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was like, the Snyder cut, like, that's always been the joke of the movies that he's done, is that there's this director's cut that's incredibly long.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Justice League was such a non sequitur of a movie that I was like, I
don't think Justice League was atrocious. I'm not going to say it's the greatest superhero movie or any of that stuff. I still don't think Justice League was this atrocious thing, what we ended up with. But I'm being very curious, like, if they would let Zack Snyder really off the rails in this, like, how different is his vision?
Here's the thing DC did that Marvel didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Their female lead, which for Marvel is obviously Captain Marvel, and for DC is Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Well, but like in terms of, you're going to talk about canonically who's the strongest female.
I get what you're saying.
Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman.
Yes. Captain Marvel was probably the strongest hero.
Captain Marvel was on screen for like 15 minutes and had a okay movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman was on screen for almost the entire Justice League movie, like realistically. And her movie was actually pretty good.
I still think the third act sucked, but I agree with you.
I mean, but it was pretty good. Like,
no, it's not a bad movie. I just don't like that villain. I think the third act falls flat on its face.
I mean, Captain Marvel falls flat on his face about 5 minutes into it. So
I was going to say Captain Marvel is flat. There is no Captain Marvel has like the lowest peak humanly possible.
So like DC, for all the shit that they get, deservedly so. In fact, I think they should get more. At least knows how to handle a female lead movie. And like, sorry, your bullshit excuse of, oh well, I was off-world saving other planets. Guess what? Until Guardians, there was only one planet in the Marvel Universe, and it was Earth. Like, guess what? I guess Asgard existed, but that was some mystical world that couldn't be touched by, in theory, couldn't be touched by Thanos, but
Mm.
So, I my theory about why Captain Marvel was barely in Avengers is
Mm.
that Brie Larson got a little too big for her boots after Captain Marvel and wanted to way too much money.
Is Brie Larson? This is an actual question. We're kind of going down this rabbit hole. Is Brie Larson the only actress that when Marvel got them, or actor when Marvel got them, they were already a hot name?
I wouldn't say she was
She
like,
was. That's post the room. The room was when Brie Larson's coming out party was.
yeah, but I imagine like she was already cast as Captain Marvel before the
Maybe.
room came out.
I'm just trying to
Um,
think in theory. Like she had to be like she has to be one of the biggest names when they would introduce him.
Jeremy Renner, Robert
Paul
Downey
Rudd.
Jr., Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Rudd's, Paul Rudd's probably one of the other ones. Like Robert Jr. When they cast Robert Jr., he wasn't a big name. He was this washed-up actor.
Well, but he out like I guess it depends on how you define. Like, are we talking
What
about
would you?
the instant that they picked them up? Yeah, he wasn't that big of a name, but he was a big name
No, I'm
prior.
referring to that. I mean more for that of like when they picked them up, they were this hot shit.
Well, also when they picked up RDJ, Marvel was nothing. So
Okay, but the whole point though, like, so maybe here's the way I look at it, right? So it's Brie Larson. I think Paul Rudd you make the argument for, and maybe Chris Pratt. Like, I think that's it. Everyone else they pick up, they purposely pick up people that like they turn into hot shit.
well, also they picked up everybody when Marvel was nothing.
Right. Like it's Scarlett Iron Man 2, I think it's Scarlett Johansson's like second or third role.
So Scarlett Johansson, like Robert Downey Jr., everybody that was
Chris,
in.
people knew of Chris Evans, but no one actually cared
Yeah.
about him. Chris Hemsworth, no one knew who he was. No one knew who Tom Hiddleston was.
So like, and nobody knew who Marvel was. So like, they got people cheap,
Mm-hmm.
and
Sam Jackson, I was saying new people everyone knows
yeah,
who Sam Jackson is. But Sam Jackson also like he was in those movies, but like very quickly, like he was you could tell like he was showing up, be like, here's your line. Okay, go. Have a good day.
here's your line. Here's a check for $15 million.
Right, and I walk away. Like that's what he was. Like in the beginning, he was the narrator. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah. So
He was when you introduced Sam Jackson, it was so the audience knew what was happening. He just explained to the characters at the same time.
yeah, if we're talking about Marvel picking up somebody, you have to look at okay when Marvel was popular and when that actor or actress was popular. Paul Rudd is the biggest name.
Yeah, I think Paul Rudd. Because Paul Rudd, even like everyone, Paul Rudd has been. Also, Paul Rudd just doesn't age, which is a different thing. But Paul Rudd has been a big name in Hollywood for like 20 years.
Yeah, he's been in movies, he's been in TV shows.
TV,
Like Chris Pratt was only TV before Guardians.
right? But like Chris, it's interesting because Guardians made Chris Pratt a movie star because he went from Guardians, then Jurassic World, and then from there wants Chris Pratt.
So
Okay.
yeah, and like Brie Larson was like she had some small stuff and like
She was Scott Pilgrim. Like that's not small.
I mean Scott Pilgrim when it was released, Scott Pilgrim was small.
Okay,
Scott Pilgrim didn't make a ton of
this,
money until
it's become this giant thing though.
Yeah.
Like Scott Pilgrim is the reason that originally the Ant-Man director was Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim really not. Oh, it didn't do that hot. You're right. Okay, I didn't realize it did that bad.
It's a cult classic. Like it's one of those examples of movie bombed.
Also, I don't know if I realized the cast in that film was. I know it's Michael Cera, obviously. Chris Evans, Anna Kendrick, Brie Larson, Audrey Plaza.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent cast.
Like I haven't seen the movie in forever, so Bill Hader. Like I forgot how many people that like are in that film that actually matter. Okay.
I will say when you led into this story, I thought you were gonna swerve to the Meathead podcast.
Okay. Are you ready for the games that came out?
$200 million for a guy that says the exact same thing.
That's true. Yeah, I was glossing over that. But yeah, Joe Rogan's podcast can be exclusive to Spotify. Okay, game time. So this is gonna be weird because games have been coming out as we're recording this. So, BioShock, Switch, and Borderlands Switch are both out right now. They came out on the 29th, which is the Friday before this will be coming out, day after we recorded this. Fast and Furious Crossroads has been delayed from Friday to August 7th. The weirdest part, though, of this, AJ, they announced the delay like 2 days before it's supposed to come out.
I'm surprised this game didn't get delayed until before the movie was out.
Also that. Command & Conquer Remastered is coming out on June 5th, which I think is as this comes out. What's really cool is they're releasing the source code for it, so anyone can do anything they want mod-wise with it, which I think is a cool thing.
Until you look behind the scenes and it's like, oh, anything you do will be
1,000%. We own.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2, as we talked about, is on June 19th. I will be excited for that. And then lastly, I have Wasteland 3 still here, which is sadly, as we talked about before, been delayed till August 28th. I believe that is all of the... Like, there's some other games I'll start adding to the list as we continue, like Ghost of Tsushima and some other games, but like right now, we're like, summer's weird this year because of coronavirus.
Wasteland 3, one of those THQ games.
No, Wasteland 3 is... It's an Exiles on by Microsoft. No, it was a Kickstarter. It was a
Darksiders
game.
3?
Yeah, that's THQ. Yeah. Yes, THQ. Wasteland 3 was a Fig game, and then Microsoft bought an Exile, so I think Microsoft's publishing it, but it's going on all platforms because it was pre their purchase. They announced the game.
Boy, remember Fig?
Fig still exists, but yeah, remember when it was supposed to be this giant thing?
Remember Fig?
I still think the thing I like about Fig is A, the investor thing, and B, there's some level of crowd control on that. So like, it's not like anything can go on Fig. You have to have some like they have to at least approve it.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate still like Fig. There is some level. If I look at a Fig game, doesn't mean I'll back it or I'll like it. I at least have an expectation of it's not going to be a 2, and it probably will come out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance it could come out.
There's a decent chance. I think most Fig games have come out or it's still in active development where we know about them. Like, I don't know if I've heard any Fig games where they just go away yet. What Kickstarter you heard those horror stories?
Well, you haven't heard anything about Fig games because everybody forgot about Fig.
This is accurate. Okay. So we did our movie club poll for this month, and the winner, finally, after all of you people finally listen to me, is Terminator.
Judging by the numbers, not a lot of people voted, so I think you got some of your friends to vote.
So I got them to vote. I did not influence their vote. You can check. I'll send you messages. I did not influence votes. So we're going to do, this time as we discussed before, our old movie for this month is going to be Terminator 2. Dos. Not Terminator 1, Terminator 2. And then our new movie is going to be Terminator Dark Fate, which is the one that came out last November. Or October.
Terminator 3.
No, we're not. No, AJ, we talked about this.
It's Terminator 3.
People do not rent Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. Do not do it.
It's Terminator 3. Also, who rents movies anymore?
Do not go buy it on Amazon. I don't know what you do. Whatever you people do.
I guess, yeah, you can rent on Amazon.
I usually don't either. It depends on I think it depends on the cost and if I think I'll watch the movie again.
Is this movie more than $10? Yes or no? Is it?
Right.
Is it over $10? Yes. I'll rent it. It's probably $4.
So a lot of times when I order Amazon stuff, I do delayed shipping. So I usually, whenever we do these movie clubs, I usually have like $10 in digital credits racked up anyway.
Can't you get the credit if you do the Prime Day as well?
Not during the pandemic, but normally. Pandemic, they suspended all of the digital credits. They said you get it when you get it.
Yeah. I definitely have some stuff from Amazon that was like, oh, it's not even gonna ship for like a month and a half.
That's my computer. It took like 5 weeks to get here, 4 weeks to get here.
It's like, oh, okay. I guess I'm not ordering from Amazon.
It's better. Now if I order from Amazon, it might take like 3 to 4 days. It's not taking weeks anymore.
Oh, I get stuff next day.
Okay. So I think Amazon now is normalized. Unless it's something really hot, I'm pretty safe ordering. Yeah, so as we talked about then, watch Terminator 2 and then Terminator Dark Fate, or as AJ lovingly refers to it, Terminator 3.
I mean, I'm not the only one that refers to it as Terminator, so.
Okay. But yeah, that is our show for this week. As we talked about, MomoCon's panel will be live on our YouTube. It is currently, and it might be on live on MomoCon's YouTube, or will be soon. Go check that out if you guys didn't get to watch it live on Twitch. General stuff, remember? This is the SWW show. We are live. Well, not live. We premiere every 9 a.m. Friday Central Time every Friday on anchor.fm/SWW or podcast services of your choice. Just search the SWW show. I'm Mike. You can follow me on Twitter at Mikey_Maroney. You can follow AJ at LocyBoy. You can follow the show at the SWW show. Coming up at the end of this, stick around because we have an interview, as we teased in the beginning, with whatever that game was called that we did. I need to
Knockback?
Knockback. That's right. The game Knockback: The Awakening.
Yes.
Knockback: The Awakening. We have about a 30-minute interview coming at the end of this episode right now. That's why your podcast feed says there's still more to this. We sat down and talked to the developer of the game. I think we had a good time. It was a good interview. I enjoyed it a lot. We got to talk about his game a bit. Remember, you can always go check that out on Steam. We and AJ can talk about it next week's either interview. I think next week's interview episodes, and the week after is probably movie club. It gets really weird because with my vacation coming up. But yeah, that's going to be the next couple weeks is going to be stuff like that going on. I believe that is all for all the people to know, AJ. We still have no word on GDEC currently because they are deciding what is happening with that. So we don't know if we're doing it until they know what they're doing. I believe that's all. Anything else?
That I can think of.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another interview spectacular. I'm calling these now the post-quarantine edition episodes because I live in Florida, and Florida is open for business. We have Disney coming back. It is a great, grand old time. But anyway, I'm Mike. Today I actually have with me Mr. AJ. AJ, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Michigan is not open, nor will they be open, I'd imagine, anytime soon.
Calm down. Tell Karen to put her wig back on, go back in the Capitol Mansion, and tell her husband to please stop trying to rent boats when it's illegal to dock your boat in Michigan.
I mean, it's not illegal. It's extremely frowned upon if you have a motorized boat.
Especially when you're the governor's husband and go, quote, I'm the governor's husband. Anyway, today we have with us a special guest working on a game that I found decently fun and I'm glad to talk about. Could you please tell us your name and the game we're here to talk about?
Yes, my name is Jason Surratt, and we're here to talk about Knockback: The Awakening.
Knockback: The Awakening, for general legal purposes, just to be fair to everyone, me and AJ both were kindly provided codes from him, and we did go through a nice playtest last week before we do this interview. That way we had a nice understanding of the game. But anyway, do you mind giving us top level, what is Knockback: The Awakening?
So Knockback: The Awakening is a physics-based game where you have active ragdolls for the enemies that are coming at you, and you have a large slew of weapons and creatable weapons that you can then use to attack those ragdolls. So anything from exploding frogs to giant flaming boulders, etc.
So, AJ, do you want to start with the obvious question here of when we played this game, or do you want me to?
I mean, I'll just say this right off the top. I had a blast playing this game. I will say I never fully achieved the Thor, like, lightning from the sky with a hammer, but that's partially on my end.
That's an easy fix on my end as well.
And I quickly discovered that you should really take into consideration how much mana you have when creating a custom weapon, and one shot depletes your mana.
Yeah.
I made that mistake once.
Yeah, if it were up to my kids, you would have infinite mana, and they'd fill the entire screen with bombs. But at a certain point, that starts taking away from the fun.
You say that, but when you're a kid, that is the fun. I'm going to break it to you. So initially, the question I had on top of my head is, right, so we ran through this game. It was great. I think it's a grand old time. How do you come up with this whole, like, yeah, we just want 2 waves of enemies, but instead we just want, like, unlimited spells to mess with people? Is it you're a really big fan of Harry Potter? Like, where do you come up with this, like, here's this idea I have?
So for years, I'd been thinking about having truly customizable weapons. Like, I really enjoyed playing Borderlands, for instance, where they have a bazillion weapons or whatever they call. But at the end of the day, it's a handful of components, and you're pretty much getting the same weapon over and over again. It just looks slightly different and has slightly different stats. And I wanted something where there was going to be fundamentally a huge variety of things that you could do. So it wasn't just shooting bullets with higher accuracy. You know, one weapon could spawn off a dozen new pebbles that all explode, or the other one could have seeking and causes fart clouds to go around and damage the enemies. So that was kind of the premise that I started with. And magic was a really easy movement there. So if you stick to just projectile weapons, your guns, there aren't that many. I mean, there's a lot of options, but not nearly as many once you pull the magic into play. And so that's where magic came from. And then the fantasy setting that it's in. I had read some articles beforehand saying that fantasy games sell better, which was a great driver for me. But also, I really like those fantasy settings, so it made it easy for me too.
Hey, can't go wrong with multiple points of, yeah, these games just sell better.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'd like to keep doing this for a long time. I don't know how plausible that is, but yeah, you do have to get some money into it.
Money? Whoa, this is a commercial business? I thought this was for the grand being of, like, art or something. I thought that's what people always say.
Well, if the stock market hadn't dropped so much, maybe.
Again, this is your buying time. Again, you take all of the earnings from this game, as I assume you've made hundreds of thousands of dollars because it's a video game on Steam. That's just how it works. And
yeah,
then you
of
put it
course.
all in the stock market, right? You just kind of go, you start just rolling it into like a money dance and just hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I'm almost to the millions now in Steam, so it's going well.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for like the one emo I get who's like, he's really in millions of Steam. Like, no.
Oh no.
So
I think I have more in my wallet right now than I've gotten from Steam.
that's the most accurate number I've ever heard in my life. Which again, I hope the best, but like we all understand. I mean, realistically, you'll get money from Steam, but like anyone who thinks that like an indie game from Steam statistically is gonna make someone like their full-time job forever, like we need to teach some people some basic math. So
yeah, the hit rate on those is so drastically low. I mean, for you, I really hope this is one that makes it. But I mean, really, you can probably count on what just your hands, just your hands. How many like truly indie
every
games
year? I was
gonna say made it in general.
I was gonna say every year I think you probably get like a dozen to 2 dozen that I could think of that probably those developers are not like now this is their job forever.
Oh yeah.
I think every year you get developers, which I'm hoping for you realistically is probably a stepping stone to like getting you to that next step, and I think you see those a lot. I just don't think you see every year the like massive like 1 million sold success across the board.
Yeah, no. I mean, going into this, so my background, I've been a software developer for 20 years, a lot of that in government contracting. And so this is my foray.
That's why we relate so much. Got it.
Yeah, so this is my first foray into game development of any serious kind. And it just kind of came around as a midlife crisis type thing. It's like, what am I doing with my life? And let me give this a shot. And thankfully, my wife's been incredibly supportive. And I've just gone into it with the perspective of, this might work out, but there's an extraordinarily small chance that it will. But regardless, I'm going to learn a lot of new skills, and I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it. And so far, that's been the case.
Nice. So let's go back to the game then. Now that we've kind of vented about indie games for a second, one of the things I think is what I really enjoyed, and I think it's a little unclear as we talked about, but I think it's a really cool system. Is your idea of this self-spell creation and weapon creation system? Do you mind kind of going into kind of like what is that so everyone kind of understands it?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. So there are 3 different parts or weapon part types that you can use. One's a foundation. The foundation is something physical like a stone or a hammer or a frog. And that's the base that you're going to build the weapon on top of. The second are modifiers. And the modifiers are going to modify that base foundation in some way. So you may be able to take a fireball and apply it to a frog, and now you have a flaming frog. Or you can take an explosion and apply it to a hammer, and now you've got an exploding hammer. And there's a limit of 4 modifiers you can put on one weapon, which is kind of an arbitrary limit. But so you could have a hammer that has Fart of War on it, and fire, and it splits into 4 other hammers, and it explodes on impact. So you can get very complex situations just with that starting modifier situation. Then the third weapon type is a transition, and that transition lets you transition from one foundation and its modifiers into a new foundation and its modifiers. So it may be on enemy touch, I want to explode. So you can create a landmine by simply throwing down a barrel. When it is touched by an enemy, it explodes. Or you could do things where you throw a rock, and when it hits the ground, it turns into a firewall. So you can throw a remote firewall out there. And there are things like timer-based things, timer-based transitions, trigger-based transitions, etc.
Yeah, so for those wondering how you start in this game, you're just whatever class. There's 4 classes, correct? There's engineer, hunter, 5 classes. See, I didn't scroll down far enough. And you start as you're just yeeting a rock around, which I learned the term yeet like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and now I'm using it in everything. I feel like I'm truly a millennial now. I went from being the old grumpy guy in the corner, like, what are they talking about this yeet? And now I'm the person saying it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a new co-host. Please write to Mike at theswwshow.com. I need you to be a boomer. I don't literally need to be a boomer age-wise, just emotionally, so I have someone to relate to again, because we have lost AJ to those Grand Rapids millennials.
Which, the funniest thing is, I have transitioned into, not transitioned at all, I've picked up yeet and that's it. Solely without, like, Vine or TikTok or whatever they use now. I saw it in a YouTube video, and that was it.
Thank God he thinks Vine is still around. Never mind, he's still a boomer. We are good, ladies and gentlemen. You can resend your applications. It is really
didn't it come back?
No, TikTok isn't. No, it's the other thing. I don't know what the other thing is. Because I'm not a millennial. I don't understand technology as I'm shaking my microphone that I'm holding.
It was what? It was Vine died, then didn't Vine 2 come out?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm showing my age now. I'm only 24, but I have no idea about the social medias.
That's social medias.
Like, I'm barely on Twitter.
I'm going to get back on track for a second. So, one of the things I found interesting about your weapon system, and if you mind going into, is so some of the classes, I believe you said, share weapons, kind of. Why?
Yeah, they're just. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, why is that just from a, like, I hate to say canon, but is it kind of like from a theming point you did that, or is it more of a, like, a logistical that way? There's multiple levels of progression. Why you do that?
Yeah, so originally all classes shared the pebble. And I noticed that people were just using the pebble just because they could design it once and then use it over and over again with different classes. And I wanted there to be a little more distinction between the classes. And it's all very much heavily evolving as we go. But I think when it's done, each class will have explicit weapon types that they can use with no overlap. That's just, you don't want to have an engineer out there that can place down a ballista and a wizard that can place a ballista. It just doesn't make any sense and gets rid of that uniqueness.
I mean, I could totally see it, right? An engineer, just like the if I go to D&D characters, like the half, oh shoot, I just lost the name of it, but they're like the half trolls, and I could just see, like, an engineer just ballista over the shoulder, just like got the rope over the shoulder, pulling it behind them, and then some wizard just like da-da-da-da, bam, spell. And
yeah.
then,
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and then you've got the classic descent between the ranks of people in the party where, oh, wizard can do whatever he wants. Well, guess I'm gonna shoot at him. Oops.
Yeah, no, the wizards can be a little OP in D&D from time to time, but that's why I like playing wizards.
This is accurate. Wizards are life.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I think there'll definitely be overlap. And one of the other possible avenues we could go down would be like modifiers. Like the wizard maybe gets bonuses to all the elemental modifiers. And the engineer gets bonuses to all the mechanical modifiers and so on and so forth. So in that case, maybe the wizard can put down a ballista, but it fires at 1/3 the rate of what the engineer's ballista fires at. So those are all mechanics that can be played with.
So I want to make you look into the glass ball then for a second, kind of as we're going down that window. Do you feel, because obviously game I don't know if you mentioned, is in early access currently. It's a thing that people can buy and mess with, but like it's definitely not a complete product, as you said.
Yeah.
Do you feel like as this is done, it's going to be, as we kind of did, this very fun open thing, kind of, or do you feel it's going to come more intense and strategy heavy as the game goes on?
So one of the things that inspired me to go the route with the game is playing games with my kids. So I've got a 10-year-old and he seems like 13 now, but 12-year-old. And they both really like playing video games, but there aren't a lot of video games that we all enjoy together. And so I wanted this game to have that fun slapstick humor, crazy weapon kind of system going on, but also have enough strategy to it that it can keep your more refined gamer, that's the wrong word, but your more strategic gamer engaged. So I'm hoping that it can still have both of those things, the slapstick and the strategy.
I picture this being like somebody's going to eventually create a strategy of like turning this into a tower defense. And just standing back and doing nothing.
Yeah, so I mean, Orcs Must Die is one of the games that I really liked and looked at quite a bit when I was building this, and it could be a lot of fun just to throw in a lot of similar kind of ideas for traps into this, and modifiable traps. So maybe your spike trap has fire on it or what have you. But I've been actively trying to keep myself from developing more weapon parts because they're so fun and easy to develop. I still have more rudimentary things that need to be fixed, like the UI, for instance, for making weapons needs to be a little more streamlined. Is that the polite way of putting it?
No, that makes sense. It always is the fun balancing act of what is the level of how much I need versus how stable it needs to be. Because especially with you being in early access, I feel like you have at least more wiggle room on the stability side, but there totally is just from you being a person, there's a line of like how much can you handle.
Absolutely, yeah.
Don't worry about the UI. Just go the route of old like Civ games and just make it incredibly tiny text and completely, ineligible, and just be like, oh yeah, everybody will just figure it out.
I was thinking like 2010 Paradox instead, where like there is 10,000 things on the screen and you don't know what anything means, but like since this is like real time, you have bigger problems to deal with.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah. I guess that's fair. So we kind of mentioned already too. So you're in early access right now. Obviously we've talked about some level of UI and maybe some stability things. What are you feeling kind of like is your goal as you're in early access that you want to really kind of push the next level before you determine this as like a full game out of early access?
So I think I'm going to kind of cop out with my answer here and say I'll know it when I see it. So at a minimum, right now they're just levels that you can go and play, and you get more weapons, and you can go and play them again, and you level up, and so on and so forth. I'd like there to be at least a little bit more structure to that. One of the things I was thinking is you started a portal, and it randomly generates a list of levels that you end up going through, and you fight through maybe 4 levels, and at the end you beat a big boss, and then you get some very large award, and then you go back to the starting position with all of those weapon upgrades that you made wipe back out again, so then you can go and do it again and build them back up. So you still have all the weapon parts, you just have to upgrade them as you go. Because as it is right now, you can just keep playing, and the more levels that you play, the more weapons you build up to the point where you become unstoppable.
I like how you say that answer was a cop-out, but I feel like that's the perfect answer to everybody in early access. Like, you don't know when to not call it early access until it's like, this looks and feels like a full game, not something that still needs not necessarily major, but some good work done to it. And I feel like more people need to, like, on both sides, right? Like the players and the developers need to realize that kind of ebb and flow of okay, this game's in early access. Um, if it's a small team, it'll be in early access for a while because they just don't have the manpower to get exactly what they want done in a short time. But and then like the classic example is like DayZ. That was in early access for about half my life, and never. I don't think it's officially come out. Maybe like a true DayZ like 1.0.
I thought there was a 1.0.
Okay.
What that means still in DayZ, I feel like is still, I don't know if I'd call it 1.0 because it still looks and acts like DayZ, which is again what people want in that game. But like it's very interesting of like we accept, I feel, games with higher level of physics or those kind of games we accept them more in different states. Like obviously PUBG is a fine example of the state we accept that game is. And I'll be curious actually, because your game is very physics heavy and very chaotic, that and this is not an offense to you, I feel actually for what the game does and the physics it allows, the game is surprisingly stable, that I feel like at the end of the day, people might accept your game even a little bit more of a like, maybe a frame dropped here or something dropped there just because the amount of stuff you can actually do and affect the environment in it.
Yeah, I'll take chaotic as a compliment. And but yeah, I keep trying to get those things better, and I don't know if you want to go into. There was a lot of work on the networking side to try to get it so everything was consistent across all of the clients. It was, yeah. I'm hoping that it's done now, but it seems like I've felt that way 3 or 4 times over the last few months.
Actually, I would like a little bit more, if you don't mind. Are you so one of the big things that I was talking to. I was talking to the developer of behind Zoop Tech like a month or two ago, and they do a game that's a networky game, and that's again a small team also there too. But they're interesting way they were networking via like in secret Chrome tabs and secret like internet tabs. How do you? Because like we played and like I'm assuming you don't have like a giant server rack next to you and like your network is surprisingly stable and stuff.
Well, thanks. So I'm using the Steam networking under the covers, so it's going across their VPN, so to speak. And in this case, I was hosting and you guys were connecting to my server. So it was, just my local hosted game. There was nothing else running, no special server running. And that's the intent, is it should be easy for somebody to pick up and invite their friend and they can go off and play. So no crazy Chrome tabs or anything like that. In Unity, I'm using the mirror networking for doing a lot of the simple things like spawning objects and calling RPCs and those types of things. But the real challenge that I came into was trying to figure out a way that I could keep all of the scenes with all of those moving bodies around synchronized and do it at with reasonable amount of latency. And so I started off going down the path of trying to mimic physics across all of the machines, but found pretty quickly that with as much stuff that's going on, I couldn't keep it in sync. It just wasn't going to happen. And when things would jump around, it was horribly distracting for the user. So I switched over, and I can't find the article for the life of me, but a few years ago I read an article where they used this approach for compressing the data and sending it across. But so, for instance, when we were playing, there was probably 400 bodies on the screen that were getting synchronized, and about 200 to 300 of them would be moving at any one time. And trying to update that across the network 25 times a second is a bit of a challenge. But that's what it's doing underneath the covers. Is it'll take all of the bodies that it needs to synchronize, and I'm using body in a loose term because sometimes they're rigid bodies, sometimes they're slightly different concepts. But like, for instance, one zombie has 14 bodies in it that make up its arms, legs, head, etc. So I put all of that into one big data structure. Well, several data structures, but for the sake of simplicity, into one big data structure. And every 40 milliseconds, I'll go and update that data structure with the current state of all the bodies on the server side. And then I'll look and see what data structure I sent out to the clients previously. I'll do what's been actually verified that arrived, do an exclusive OR between the two of them, and then compress it. And doing that approach, sometimes I'm getting 50-fold compression when things are kind of low. Typically during the high intensity scenes, it'd be about 10 to 15 time compression. So I can get away with sending about 30 kilobytes a second out to the clients, but it's really sending it 300, 350 kilobytes of data per second.
Interesting. So I assume that was, I'm just making a guessing of your development the last couple of years, that was the bulk of that dev time.
So it's funny, the bulk of it was finding something that would act as a reliable networking mechanism. So the NetSync code itself that did the bulk of what I just described was done in less than a week, and I've had very few bugs in it. The rest of the time has been trying to make sure that the clients connect consistently, and I'm sending the unreliable packets the way I want to, and it fragments them if necessary, and so on and so forth. That's been the frustrating part for me, but I think that's all kind of settled out now.
And you
Fingers crossed.
need to work on the networking for iRacing, because that is, let me tell you, interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I do take a lot of comfort when I'll go and play AAA titles, and I won't name any of them now, but I'll go and play the AAA titles, and their networking is worse than mine. And it gives me a little bit of comfort.
Especially for you being like the size you are, obviously. Like it is very impressive of like, yeah, I don't think we didn't disconnect. The only lagging issue that I had was talk about was like, I think my laptop was not reacting super well, but I was on, I think, super high graphic settings for the laptop still. So like, that's what's really surprised me of like, I understand it was only 3 of us, but still like a game your size, I wouldn't be shocked if also we had a disconnect problem or these kind of things where like networking is for sure not especially your game's physics. Like physics is what breaks networking across the board.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a challenge getting to where I am. But yeah, on the side of running the game, so I play with a lot of my kids' friends, because I find that the kids are the most vocal, honest, and brutal reviewers you'll get out there.
Yes, I would
So
agree. From someone
yeah,
who's been at games at like kids fairs and toy fairs, yeah, no, kids are your best, most honest critics. Because I've had a kid one time put on a headset, go, "This sucks." That was 2 seconds in, and just put it down and walk away. You're like, "That's great feedback."
Fortunately, I tend to get a little more detail than that, but yeah. But yeah, they're very much if it drops a game, they're irate. If you start dropping a few frames here and there, they become kind of upset too. And so I end up one of the advantages that I have is that the game, the user's actions in the game, I have to keep deliberately slow. So I don't know if you noticed, but moving around, I mean, it's not painfully slow or anything, but you don't move real fast through the world.
Mm-hmm.
And when you throw attacks, none of them go any faster than 50 meters per second. And one of the things that affords me is I have a little bit more time to get the information out to the client, so it still feels responsive, as opposed to if you were firing a sniper rifle and expected an immediate impact on the downside. So what ends up happening client side is the client's actually running 100 milliseconds behind the server, and doing that, I can interpolate as the new packets arrive. So I end up getting, with 100 milliseconds, I can drop one packet and you don't notice any difference on the client side at all. So, if you had it perfectly evenly separated, you could drop half the packets and you wouldn't notice any difference. But I found that was absolutely necessary to keep things responsive.
So let's get technical for a second. So you're 100 milliseconds behind. Is it enough then where you notice have you ever noticed, like, if you're next to someone and they're also playing the game, that you noticed any visual differences than them, or is it still quick enough that the human eye won't recognize the difference?
So sometimes you will notice, depending on if your ping is worse than 100 milliseconds, you might notice it, but sometimes you will notice when you shoot an object, it pops out a little bit in front of you as opposed to starting right at your body. And there are easy fixes for that. I just need to go in and do them, where it just simulates it client side until it gets its first update. So that's definitely something that is noticed. But the other thing that I do is I make sure that and this may sound a little weird, but when you're playing on the server side, so all user inputs end up being 50 millisecond lag in order to stay with the same problem. But on the server side, even though you could be at 0 lag, I keep the server at 50 millisecond lag, whether you're the single player or playing as the normal server, so that they don't get any advantage, and also so it doesn't feel any different when you're playing multiplayer versus single player.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, but if it was a fast action gun game, that clearly wouldn't work at all.
Nice.
Fast action gun game. That's the excuse me. That's the new tag on Steam.
Well, I couldn't just say first person shooter because mine's kind of in the first person shooter genre.
Yeah.
It is,
yeah.
but I don't know what I would call it. Like literally, you're not wrong because you're first person and shooting things, but like I don't know if I ever would have used that term to describe it.
It's a first person action game with shooting elements.
Yeah, like something like that, or like I like the idea of a joke. I've heard the term like inverse tower defense before, kind of like those kind of things. Because again, it's the horde, not mod nonsense. It's the like you have a target. A lot of times they're trying to get to. Like it's this very interesting hybrid.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So as we get towards what I'm assuming is the tail end of this, one of the things I was wondering. So obviously, as we talked about, you've been in early access at the time we're recording this, almost a month. We'll call it.
Yeah.
What has the feedback been like? Has it changed? Like, big question is, has it changed the trajectory of what you were thinking the game would become, actually, as you had more people play it?
As of right now, not so much. So the main feedback that I'm getting are bug reports, which are invaluable. But I haven't got a whole lot. I mean, from friends and family, I still get lots of feedback on gameplay and such. But from the users that have purchased it online, I haven't seen a whole lot of feedback in that realm. Now, if I do get it, absolutely, I'm trying to be as responsive to the users as I can. I certainly learned over my 20 years of software development, as soon as you ignore the users, the project is dead. But yeah, so we'll see.
AJ, do you have any follow-up questions about either early access or kind of like the future of the game?
No, because I want to be genuinely surprised when I hop into this game in a month's time, and things have changed. And experiencing the game as somebody hopping into it brand new, I will say this. Doing the podcast and stuff like that has kind of spoiled me to, oh yeah, we're playing like alpha builds that nobody else has played other than like UA testers maybe, and like, oh yeah, I've seen that, and this is your change, okay. But this one, I'm gonna, for good reason, I want to see what can be done. I'll come back to it, but in a month.
Okay.
Gotta give it time to breathe.
Time to breathe. I have one final question for you. And this I'm gonna make you. It's like we're gonna take your. I think it's 5 babies. We said we're gonna make you pick your favorite one. What class do you like playing as the most?
The wizard.
Not even a question, not a hesitation.
There was no hesitation because what class did he play when we were playing with him?
That's
the
true.
wizard.
Wizard had the frog, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Yeah. Idea of a flaming frog that farts in the air. I understand why you picked the wizard.
Yeah, no, so I try to keep all of the classes balanced, and everybody likes something different. Like my older son is a huge fan of the hunter. My younger son's a big fan of the engineer. I know people that play the giant religiously. So, it all comes down to personality. But for me, the fact that it has the highest mana regen and the highest mana pool, that's what gets me excited.
Okay.
The people that pray at the Church of the Giant.
Yeah, and sorry, this may be going too long, but I have a friend or two friends actually, that just sent me hundreds of sound effects. They're actually part of my D&D group, and they're constantly using these crazy voices. And so I've been slowly in the process of updating those, but the giant sound effects are hilarious. And the new zombie sound effects are pretty funny too.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm excited because there are some, we'll say, very comical and unique sound effects in the game of what we played.
Yeah, so if you do play it again, I'd love to hear back from you.
Yeah, no problem. So do you mind telling everyone kind of where, so let's see if I get this right and fill me if I'm wrong. It's Knockback the Awakening. It is $5 on Steam right now?
Correct.
Is it going to stay that way, do you feel, as you go through early access? Or do you feel you're going to kind of like, as you do like a lot of early access does, as you get further and further, you might up the price a little?
Yeah, it's my intent to up the price. What I didn't want to do is disrespect the players. So if at this point, I don't feel that this is anywhere near a $15 game as it stands. There's just not enough polish to it or content or the levels, etc. And so I just wanted to start at $5 and try to be fair about that. And once I meet the next threshold where I feel like it's gone up a bit and I feel like there's a lot more meat to it, then I'll take it up probably to 10 and maybe to 15, depending on how I feel it's going. Which
Perfect.
I know is not the normal business practice, but I'm learning.
Early access is weird.
Yeah.
It's the for those listening, it's Mike. You may not have heard me say this in some of the interviews. I call it the Starbucks index. This game is one Starbucks. Because it's $5, which is roughly the average order of somebody's single coffee at Starbucks, unless you're getting like the basic. So yeah, I like to say this is a game that you can skip a day at Starbucks for.
I appreciate. Now I understand what you're saying. I do appreciate how that works.
Starbucks index.
The Starbucks index is what's one day at Starbucks.
I'm gonna get it trending like the Big Mac index. So
perfect. And then it is knockbackgame.com, I believe, for your website.
Correct.
And there's a link to everything. And you guys have a Discord community too for bug fixes and all that fun stuff?
Yep. We have a Discord. We're also up on Twitter and Facebook and such. If you search Google for Knockback the Awakening, you should find all the good stuff.
Perfect. Well,
he's got that good SEO, man.
To be fair, I don't know how many things else are called Knockback the Awakening, so I'd really hope he has good SEO on this. Again, though, I do want to thank you for sitting down with us and showing us the game last week. It has been a blast, and we are both excited to see what comes up with this game next couple months and kind of how it changes and all that.
Thanks. Yeah, me too.
Perfect. Well, goodbye, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your quarantine, I guess we'll call it. Go learn something new. I don't know. This podcast was a production of The SWW Show. To learn more, go to theswwshow.com. Remember, you can follow the show on Twitter at theswwshow. You can follow me at Mikey_Maroney. You can follow AJ at LowSeatBoy. Remember, new episodes premiere on Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time on anchor.fm/SWW and podcast services around the globe.